I think we're live now. Hey, we're late. That's my fault.
Oh, welcome. I was just wrenching
That's
with
why
my.
I'm late, actually. I wasn't even going to go there yet.
Yeah.
Hey, Curtis D's in the house. I seen Curtis's name pop through about 30 minutes ago, something like that.
Yeah.
What's in the
Nice.
box? Pete?
He's got his mighty hand tool
that?
ordered. What's that?
CSL RC Lorne. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
So this is just going to be there's a lot that went on this week and weekend, RC related.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it.
All right. There's a lot of carnage. Yeah.
You had a lot of carnage. Yeah. And I had some actual carnage too. All right. So let's start with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We both had events and stuff going on.
Right.
So let's start with yours.
So we have two things going on side by side. We have everyone doing their cram sessions to get their runs in for the Sombrero Smash. TM. No, just kidding. Not TM yet, but
trademark.
Yeah.
Dude, trademark. You don't have to be registered. You just got to put the TM next to it. It means that
I know
you want it to be registered, but it's not. It's like,
you remember back in the day when you used to have to take a picture of something and mail it to yourself, and that worked for it too.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, I had it first. Yeah, I used to do that.
I know.
Our music and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. We got that.
I'm going to just talk about Baby Goliath right now, just to go ahead and trademark Baby Goliath.
There you go.
Ooh. What is the time now? It's 11:05 on May 3rd, and Baby Goliath is a real deal. So
there you go.
It's not for everybody, but
don't call it a baby arm.
Baby arm. Yeah. That's a little teaser we'll start with. All right. So go ahead. So you had, all that kind of stuff. You trademarked Sombrero Smash. That's where we got sidetracked.
Yeah.
So you had all that going on.
So all that going on. We basically, like 2 weeks ago, we started tearing apart our course. Then weather and softball and whatever it is came along. And so it was basically all torn apart. And then we had to, in like 12 hours, finish tearing it apart, groom it all down, paint it, and then go out and do our runs. So it was crazy. And there's people, obviously I'm managing all the video coming in and all that kind of stuff. So lots going on there. Saturday. So what happened? I think Friday, did we have a game? No, Friday we went to go see a movie, which was fun. Another movie. We went to go see Bad Guys, kids movie. And then Saturday we had racing. So we did U4 racing, and I podiumed once with the Pro 4, third place. Everything else DNF. So yeah, it was tough.
Brutal.
Like, dude, the Baja Ray was killing me because it was so dialed.
Yeah.
So dialed. But then I think what it is that I have one of those JST plugs soldered in line with my connector.
Yeah.
And I think the solder came loose in there because
servo separate, or what was this?
No, it's just for lights and stuff. It's just one that I just solder them on.
Guys, lights will kill you.
You
do all that aftermarket junk, it's gonna come back to bite you.
So
Gremlins,
I think that's the problem, because the problem was that it would heat up the plug, right? And the motor wouldn't get too hot. Nothing else got hot, just the plug. And then I'd get 2.5 laps in, 3 laps in. I'd be top 3, and the car would just be cooking along, and then just go bleh, and just die. And it was always after it got warm, and like I said, the motor wasn't hot, nothing like that. So it was just super frustrating because that thing was just, it was doing good. First heat totally destroyed the front end of my 1.9 Insano. So that's getting a full rebuild. I was holding off, and now it's getting a full rebuild. So, I mean, like, cage is going away, chassis changing, everything is going to be full rebuild. Nomads. So my Nomad lost a screw, which wouldn't hold the pin in for the A-arm. and the screw was on the backside, so I couldn't get to it with all the other stuff in the way. So that one was gone. Dalton had a weird break. He sheared a shock shaft on his Nomad, like just right at the top of the ball, just sheared it right off. Didn't even hit anything hard. And let's see what else broke. He broke a servo.
Sounds expensive.
Well,
Like
not a servo.
Weekend.
Yeah, he broke a servo arm, or not, whatever, a servo horn. I don't know how he did it, but he literally broke a Reef's 7075 servo horn in half. Don't know how, like, we all looked at it. We were like, how did you do that? Yeah. So that was impressive. But his truck was dialed too. It could have used more speed, but it was dialed. So I was happy with that. So I was like, yeah, whatever. His 2.2 was just all over the place. And I think that's it. So we had
dialed part of the DNF part that you were talking about. Dialed.
Yeah. Well, his he
dialed but never finished.
Yeah. I mean, his was absorbing everything, doing all that kind of stuff, and that's on a custom chassis. So I was happy with it, but it just
a bunch more people pop in.
Nice.
Miko actually said that he got a run in, and he's looking forward to Miko Thomas. Stoked to see the Sombrero smash.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that won it last time.
Yep.
So there you go. Or no, you won it last time. He won. Did he win the?
He won the other one.
Yeah. Yep.
With his LMT. Oh, we got JMRC's Bowl Gear. I saw your order come in, man. Lee's in the house. Dennis, Tank RC.
Again, to all the YouTube people that put together that LMT for us. So I ran it in a straight line just to dial it in, like just to make sure that it was going straight, just to make sure it'd run. And then I handed it to the kid and let him burn it down. And he did that. So
it's fun though, isn't it?
Bro, did you
get it?
I don't know.
Time? You don't even know.
I don't even know. Yeah. But he was over the moon though. He had so much fun with it. So
the backflips and stuff he had were legit.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you saw the run. I shared it with Tony. I haven't shared it with anyone else yet. Really.
Yeah, so. I've seen it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. Yeah, he had I
saw in there.
Well, I know. I know. And I was telling people, I was like, guys, he's got 2 more years till he's in the adult bracket. And I think he could give people a run for their money now. Yeah. So, but yeah. And then Olivia had a really good run too. She's running the SMT 10 and brushed. She did it on 3S and I put hers on the Renegades and she had a great run. I tried to dial her ESC so it had rollout on it, but for some reason she did better with the drag brake stronger than the rollout on it, and she was doing all right. It's just
a bit ragged and
yeah, exactly. So it was good though, man.
So that's like my everyone was talking about. I just posted the video of my Pro C running around the track. Like, oh, it's so plush. Your handle's so good. I'm like, it does for racing. It handles so good, but like freestyle, it handles too good to freestyle. Like you can't get it ragged. It just settles itself so well that you're like, dang it, like pop the front end up or something. Give me something to work with. I see Big America's in the house. So he's going to have your son chasing after him here soon.
I know. He's like, did you say backflip? I just kidding. Yeah. I always give him crap about that. I love it. He's awesome at what he does. So I'm not here to hate on
Wicked
it.
Good.
So yeah, for sure.
Wicked
but
good.
I do think he's going to be chased down sometime soon. So I think there's going to be a 10-year-old.
Sick that we're doing with these RCs. And I mean, he's leading the charge for sure with innovating
100%.
stuff. And
yeah.
The corkscrews and the pop stuff he's doing. And then even the grease landing big air he just did the other day.
That was huge. Yeah.
Huge. It was stretching. You could tell that nose was going up, like going for every little bit that he could.
Yeah.
Perfectly greased it down the back.
I wanted to comment on it and be like, where's the fishing line? I think there was fishing line on there. And he was like, puppeteer. was too perfect.
It was so good. But
he's probably green screened. He's out there in his green suit doing this with his car, flying it around.
Nico Thomas says, as long as I beat TTRC and score, I'll be happy. Jeff Brown is in. Jeff, I saw some people running your compounds as well this weekend. So I drove to Wisconsin Friday morning early. It's about 7 hours from here.
Whew.
Not an easy way to get there. It was a lot of money in gas because I drove my big 250. Yeah. And Illinois is not cheap for gas right now. Wisconsin was pretty good.
What are the costs out there?
It was like it's less than, I mean, it's probably less than you, but they were like $4.60, I think, in Illinois. Oh, yeah. $4.59. When I got to, I think it was $3.89 in Wisconsin.
Oh man, what I would do for $3.89 gas right now.
Yeah, I filled up before I left Wisconsin. I made it all the way through Illinois without even thinking about getting gas again. But yeah, so I went there to Freestyle RC for a couple of reasons. One, they were having their spring trifecta. It was like their end of year, end of season racing. And so they do like on-road oval, carpet, indoor. And you would love this place. Like I was geeking out. I got to tell you about the building first.
Tell me about it.
I'll talk about the RCs in a second. The building is insane. It's like this old building that used to be an electronics store, and it used to be all these different things. And you just keep going, and there's rooms upon rooms, and they're not all part of their facility, but like they're buddies with the guys that own it. The guy that owns it just has he's got a golf driving range in there, an electron, and all of his arcades are set up in rooms. Like it's this total hangout place, man. It was so legit. He had like 4 versions of off-road, like 2 of the 3 players, Ivan off-road, and then 2
yeah.
Man, I was like, I want to buy one and bring it home. I brought something else home. We'll talk about that in a second, but
yes.
Yeah. So his the facility is awesome. We jumped a Stampede 2-wheel drive off of the roof multiple times until it broke in half.
Nice. Whose was it? Was it yours?
No, it was just Carter's. And it was funny because he just started trying to fix it up different ways. You find like bent chassis and tape it to it, and so all through the weekend he's like turning it into this like Frankenstein RC. First, it just had 2-wheel drive front with the chassis to slap to keep it from rolling over, like to keep it driving straight. Anyway, whatever. We won't stay on that too long. But anyway, it was hilarious. But the facility, I mean, they've got their Haas machines there that I
saw that. Yeah.
They mill things out of, and the chassis that they're building right now are so beautiful. They've got a couple of custom ones they're doing for people that are like larger than 10th scale.
Oh, wow.
Like grave diggers, like a certain number somebody wants. And they're beautiful. But that's then their retro chassis is one of the most innovative and cool. The thing I like about Josh is Josh solves problems.
Mm.
And so when he sees a problem in racing or whatever, he tries to get rid of the problem. That's what he did with the Pro C, right? People can't drive like me. He figures out a way to make a wicked chassis that just absorbs everything you throw at it and just sticks to the ground and drives forward,
Right.
It doesn't really because the weight transfer, the way that all that cantilever set up is insane. But then this retro he's got, and so since you have to have those like ladder frame style that's like really stiff, and then it also has like the leaf. He built this the way that his bracket attaches to the axle. So instead of just going straight to the axle, it goes to this bracket that attaches to the axle, and that bracket has a little pivot in it that gives it just that little bit more movement so that it's not so stiff.
Right.
So those leaf sprung chassis can compete with the clodbusters and everything everybody else is putting out.
That's cool.
And it's shaft driven. It looks way more scale that way,
Mm-hmm.
So and they're beautiful, like the aluminum tube, like they're the square or rectangular, like the real
axles. Yeah.
Well, the chassis he's using T10 axles for the
The retro?
retro, yeah, for
Oh,
shaft
wow,
driven.
cool.
It's a
That's
really cool
cool.
setup. Anyway, so that's cool. But
I
yeah, we raced it, and we did kind of what they're doing with the Monster Jam, where they start and they do that circle, and then they
yeah,
go out to the outside,
right.
hit 2 jumps. That's what we did because we had the oval track to work on for monster trucks. It was kind of fun. We didn't have the bank corner or anything, but I
Yeah.
did terrible. My truck is great at a lot of things, but it's set up for dirt for one,
Sure.
and it was an oval track that had a lot of um, tire compounds ground into the carpet, so it's really
Oh,
sticky. And so I could not slide the corner, and like a monster truck had that upper weight. Well, he's got
yeah,
that new Rapid X truck that's like it's like driving a buggy, but it's a monster truck. Like it's low to the ground, and it'll just. I drove it out there. That's my next truck. Is I got to get those Rapid X's.
that's
Um,
cool.
run those for like indoor type things like that, where it's tight and they turn on a dime, and then run the other ones when we have like rugged terrain and jumps and all
That's
that because those things are insane.
it's funny because I saw one of your clips from your first video that you put out when you were out there, and I saw the milling machines out there, and I was like, I just told my wife the other day, I was like, we need to get like a 15,000 square foot shop so I can have my shop, I can have a batting cage, and I can have an indoor RC funplex. Like
Yeah,
all in one. Everyone can come and play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's and then I could just go to work and be like, you know what? I'm gonna hit a bucket of balls and go and hit a bucket of balls and then go back to work, then be like, I think I'm gonna
yeah,
go and do a little monster truck, a little crawling. I don't know. Let's see. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I
So they didn't
wish.
have the crawling, but I was telling them that they could do like a crawler course, or
Sure.
they could do. They were looking at those like mini 1RC racing oval. I'm like, dude, if you did that, you could make it so it literally folds down from the wall and is table height. You
Oh
race
yeah.
it. And when you're done, you just flip it back up and lock it against the wall and it's out of your way.
Yep.
Because those are so small that you do that and you get a couple poles for the
Yep.
judges to get the cars in place. But yeah, it's insane.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, it's quite a compound that they've got built there. And it sounds like they're going to make the off road bigger. And I'll tell you what, the most fun I had the whole weekend was running my buggy, my
Yeah.
low C22.
I was gonna
My
ask about that. I've been on the fence of doing that kind of thing, and I was gonna ask because
there's
so we
so
have
much
that. Yeah, we
uh,
have that carpets
drive.
thing down the street from us, and they're open all summer long. And I can, you pay the fee for the season, and I can
Yep.
go down there whenever I want. I'm not like I don't think the kids are sold on it, and because they're into dirt, and I just don't, oh man, I really want to. Oh, you like that? You know what's funny about that? I'll tell you what's funny about that. That's my 10-year-old daughter's water bottle she takes to school. But I left my water bottle at the shop, so I was like, I need a bottle. This one works just right for today.
So there's been quite a few announcements, or at least 2 cool new announcements since I didn't catch Harley's thing this morning. It's been a bit of a busy day, with all the stuff coming in the mail, for the tools and all that. Finally, I got the bags for him, and we spent
Right.
time packaging them and getting everything ready and pictures and all that. But, um, the, that new Losi to me looks amazing.
It
The hammer
does.
ring,
Yeah.
just on the
Yeah.
looks of it alone, like, strip back anything, I just think it looks awesome.
It
And that's
does.
like the start for me. Like, if it looks cool, I'm kind of like already in, like I'm gonna buy it. And
Yeah.
then if it does well on top of that, then that's like bonus. But I'm like, just
Sure.
because it looks so, I just love the design of it. What are your thoughts?
I
Because you run the rock racing and the U4 and all that.
so I have the Baja Ray, which is the little brother, I would say. So the wheelbase is much longer. Um, I think it would probably do well on a tall. Well, I take that back. It it either needs to be widened a little bit, and I haven't driven it. I haven't seen one in person, but from what I've seen online, definitely I feel like it needs to have a little bit more width to it. I think what would help, or what helps it with the length, is that with the Baja Ray wants to dunk off of the jump, so it wants to kick the back end back up. With the length of that, I feel like it would plant a little bit better in the jump. Um, I think it looks rad. We started talking about that at U4 this weekend. What about having a class specific to that size? Because at that size, you could run the UDR, you could run the Mojave. It'd be like an unlimited 2 class, because like right now, unlimiteds are basically 8 scale buggies, which are rad, but they're just a little too. I think that other size is just a little bigger, a little too
You
big.
think it'd be better?
What's that?
You think that the hammer ray size is better? It's
No.
bigger, or is it smaller?
Hammer ray is bigger than everything else that we race.
And you
Like
don't think that's good for it?
no, because I think I think it'll roll over and on the rocks and the turns too much.
Yeah.
But it'll in honesty, like on U4 on our course, 90% of it's dirt track, like fast dirt track stuff, and 10% of it's rocks. So, you might be able to slow it down enough to go through the rocks and get through it and then hammer down on the rest of the stuff. So it's I think it'd be cool. But I do think, if it was a
I
different
don't know if
class.
that's competition cool. Like,
Right.
it looks
right.
like fun bashing. What do you guys think in the comments? You've seen the hammer ray. Some people straight away said the price is too much. I think the price is about right. Actually,
I do.
I think the price is right.
$600. Yeah.
Less
Yeah.
580. But
Wow.
I mean, when I first got the low C 10 SCTE like 6 years ago, it was that much money. We've had
Baja
inflation
race.
have come up. It's like that's kind of the going price for a aluminum chassis basher type car. I mean, you're not going to get one much cheaper than that.
Well, and this one I think is going to be one of those rigs that's really good on camera. Like it's going to look great
that's
going
for
through
sure.
stuff. The other thing we kind of touched on it really quick last week because we were so busy. But one of the interesting things I see is that we're getting a lot of these larger scale vehicles, and I wonder the dynamic thought is like because they're too big to put into a class for racing, and they're kind of too big to have like you and your neighbors go out and play with the same ones. It's like a slash. All your neighbor kids could go out and get a slash, right? But getting something that big, obviously it's probably geared towards a little bit more advanced player, I would say. But at the same time, are you going to be able to play with someone else that has it? You know what I mean? Like it seems like it might be a more unique kind of a thing, but like I said, it falls in the same kind of realm, I think, as the UDR, the Mojave, all those type of vehicles. And I think
I don't really see people race a lot, but they bash them and make cool videos with them.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you see some people racing them, the UDRs a little bit. I mean, you see, a handful of those people get that out and race it. But I think the
I've
UDR
seen people do it in like grass lots with cones, but it's usually like not against other UDRs. It's like whatever you brung. Right. But that's all I've ever seen.
So Earl says he's not a fan. He feels it's a little skinny and will roll over a lot. I agree. I think if you did bump out because it's 12 millimeter also hexes, so you can get hub extensions.
But yeah, it gives you a lot of options.
Yeah, so you can get it pushed out a little bit wider. And
the look is what's so good about it. Like, I don't think performance is going to be. It's kind of like that Kyosho that I love so much. Like, it's not as much about the performance of it; it's more scale performance.
Yeah.
Instead of like extreme bash performance, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where you're going to see more, and that's what would look good in the videos. But I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, John Thomas says he thinks it would have been more fun if it was Traxxas UDR based. I think they're pretty close. I just think the width is wrong. I think the length and the suspension is kind of the same idea. It's just not as wide. It says, I think they'll fill the Element IFS Baja builds versus looking at the UDR.
So
or
I'll go
mahogany.
ahead and say right away what I don't like about it is the reason I don't own the Rock Ray or the Super Baja Ray battery placement.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'd rather have a laser net cage where I can flip it open and get to
yep,
everything inside it. That for me is like a big like I don't want to go there. I don't have time to mess with car. Like it would save road
yeah,
ever if I had to just go in to tweak like a servo or something. I had to take all the caging off. It'd sit on the
yeah,
shelf forever. And it'd probably just collect dust until I threw it away one day. Like
yep.
that's my fear. Like
So, okay, so my
is
fix to
that
that,
hard
I
to find.
100% agree with you. And I spoke to Scale Metal Supplies about this because he's got these bars that go along the bottom of the Baja Ray that you build your tubing off of, and then they bolt straight to the Baja Ray chassis. And that's what I was saying because he was saying, well, why don't you just fix your ESC or whatever, your cord, your thing? And I'm like, bro, I can't get to it. Like, I can't like stuff the cord up there because I actually changed my connector. And so it all dangles right there, which I hate to begin with, especially for racing. For bashing, it's one thing, but for racing, it's like it's a DNF waiting to happen, right? Like, and
Yeah.
so but he was
Oh
saying
yeah,
he makes
especially
those.
for racers, like there's no getting at that stuff, right?
No, and yeah, exactly. And so he makes those hot seats, the ones that I showed on the other like 3 weeks ago, and these ones. And he's like, just take everything out and put these hot seats in, and you still fall under spec for having scale interior or scale driver. I was like, oh yeah, didn't even think about that because that's the problem. They have all the plastic on the top where the body, the head and all that goes, and
Yeah.
it is a lot of work to get to it for sure. For sure. But, I
That's
think
my one I don't have a lot of time. And so
yeah, right.
that becomes a big like
The
time suck
good
to think about working on them. But
Yeah, the good thing is
anything
though
with
is that
batteries
the
in is
part
like feels like a headache to me, and I probably wouldn't reach for that truck because of
well,
slotting the
I
batteries
think
in.
with you're running the Spectrum batteries, so they're actually designed for the Spectrum batteries. My batteries are not, and it is a pain in the butt because of the balance plug.
Adapters
There's
and
there's nowhere for the balance plug to go, and it's just yeah, it's just a pain. But the other thing is I think most of the parts that would break if you did break anything are external anyway, so you don't really have to get in the guts of it very often. So
okay.
there's that. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about a car, but
I've never driven it, yeah. So I can't.
well, yeah, but I mean, I have the Baja Ray, and I haven't broken anything yet except for the front bumper, which seems like it was a bad design anyway because everyone breaks it in 10 minutes. So I'm just saying, I'll just call that one out. Bill Gear says, where was it? Is it Bull Gear?
But it's the looks that make me want it. I'll just go back to that. The looks, they
Yeah,
killed it on the design.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
A little
I'm not
more.
everybody, and that's the thing, and that's why I try to say with any review, like that's why I don't technically review things.
Yeah.
Say why I wouldn't do something, and you don't have to agree with me on it.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to do it gets this many stars out of whatever on it. Like you can watch it run. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's your prerogative.
To me,
But
it's all about how much fun you have in that moment. Like it
yep.
doesn't, it's like you're going to break something at some point anyway.
And honestly, if
So
it's your only car, you'll spend all the time you want on it, right?
I
It's
know.
just that I've
Yeah.
got 100 that I have to deal with, and 15 of them are broken right now,
Yeah.
waiting for me. So I'm
Oh,
going to do
you
the
are.
easiest ones first.
Yeah. You're preaching to the choir on that one, Tony, right now. I've
So
got,
that's my only thing about it, and it's not a big thing. It's just like,
what I'm worried about right now is that the
forest
parts,
fires
no,
and
forest
ozone.
fires.
I don't know.
No, I am worried. Okay. So the A-arm, you know how on like buggies and things, they have the A-arm retainer. It's like a flat bar that has a bushing in it that pushes the pin for the A-arm in. I lost that in my Nomad, and I went to go find them, and they're discontinued everywhere. And I found them on eBay, and what was a $5 part, people now want $80 for a $5 part.
Yeah.
I know. So
It's
now
not-
I'm like, okay,
There's
do I
one good
just
thing about being in like that low C10 realm, or the the Baja Ray has some parts that it seems like
Yeah.
are shared already.
Yeah.
For the Hammer Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so the problem is I think and it's not too bad because they're hard bushings, they're just basically plastic. I'm pretty sure I could 3D like I have to design it, but I'm pretty sure I could 3D print it with that filament that you tried out. And
Yep.
I'm
I
thinking
love
it'd be
that
fine.
stuff.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah, it's really good. And I don't
Super
know much
smooth.
about 3D printing. I'm about to break bank though and get a Prusa.
There you go.
I
There you
need a easy solution, and so far everybody says that it's a pretty easy solution.
go. Yeah. So
So
Pilot Ryan, your thing says about that's the thing. I've always wanted a Mojave. Always wanted a Mojave. The only thing that is a little different for the Mojave is I can't race it in any class of U4 because it's too big. And if it was like a basher get cool video, it's not solid axle in the rear. But
which
I
doesn't
love
get
it.
a video, but
What's
it
that?
just handles like a wicked short course truck.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it's like I would love to have one of those and play with it. I just think the scale video would look a lot better with that solid axle.
Yeah,
You
for
know what I mean?
video purposes, the UDR, that Kyosho look amazing, and the Baja Ray looks really good. The
Did you
Super
see
Baja
that?
Ray looks really good too. But
Yeah.
it's same thing gets me a little bit. It's just like maintenance wise, like I want to be able to
Did you
get
see
in
the
there.
new Kyosho that popped up? I
Yes,
saw it in
that's one of the
someone's
things we need
feed.
to talk about.
Oh,
That
dude.
thing,
I'm a wagon dude. I am a wagon man. And I
see
saw
you, Lee.
that and I was
I
like,
want to say goodbye to Lee before he leaves. It was 6 minutes ago. See you, Lee, if you're gone
oh,
already.
he's
Sorry.
out.
Hello, Thompson RC XJ Sport 95. Jeff Brown says about the scale performance being exactly the reason. I agree.
Yeah,
Get to a couple of those guys.
for sure.
And
So
Earl
I'm just trying to
Moorhead.
read some of those too.
Oh, what do you guys think about that new Red Cat?
Red Cat or Kyosho?
I'm sorry,
Which one?
Kyosho. Yes, the new Kyosho, that like van wagon looking. It looks at first I thought it was a mad van, but it's like a mad wagon or something, right?
Yeah. I'm looking at their website. I don't think it's on their website yet.
I've only
Yeah.
seen it on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Are you able to share screen? Has
No.
everybody seen it? That's the first question. If not, we need to make sure people can see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where it is. I can't share screen. I'm not plugged in. I'm just on my iPad.
All right, I'll share screen here.
But I did find a picture just typing in Kyosho wagon. Yeah,
Where'd
that
you
thing
find
is
I
Competition
know they
X.
posted it to the okay. Yep,
Or-
competition. He's good. Same chassis as Fire Team. Oh yeah, talking about the other.
I don't know any of the specs on it.
LVCRC. What's going on, Garrett? Mad Wagon definitely looks awesome. I would love to see more vehicles with that style. Me too.
Heck yeah. I'm all about the wagons.
It's
Bro,
just-
if I could just get that
funny.
Lexan. Well, if I can get that Lexan even, that would be awesome.
OMG has it on their site. All right, so I can share screen. Let me bust out a new window here. Just go to the Facebook where I know that they have it.
I gotta keep my balance. Gotta be drinking my water with my beverage as I chew on ice, and you can hear as I'm clanking ice in my teeth. Sorry, guys.
Wait, was this 1969 Chevy Camaro Z28 RS Supercharged VE already? No, arrives in July.
Yeah, that's a new one.
What?
They redid all their phaser stuff.
All right.
Where have you been, Tony? Where have you been?
Wisconsin, and not on the computers. It was such a great break from, although I did edit videos and I had to clear up a bunch of stuff with the manufacturing stuff, shipping, all that.
Hoodwit
That
RC
is
says he
cool.
wishes someone would do a AMC like a javelin. What do you want? That'd be
Look at the
cool.
lines on that right there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
I mean, they just kill it with their looks. They
I'm not a
get the
fan of the
scale.
big blower sticking
I
out
don't
of
like the
the.
blowers. I would rather not have the
Yeah.
blowers, but I know that
If
there's
if it was
probably
like a
80% of RC people that would love to have the blowers in it, and so they're catering to the crowd.
I wonder if it has working butterflies on it too, like the
It
red
does.
things opening.
Yep, it
Seriously?
does. Twist right here. Yeah, same as the you have to flip this thing. They don't like manually do it, but you could hook up a servo to this and do it. Just a
How
wire.
funny.
That little black
Yeah.
bar right there. I destroyed mine on the charger. I crashed it.
Gremlin drag car, someone Alex Jason says.
How far do I have to go? Yeah, on this one I totally crashed.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. That's interesting.
What, the wagon?
Kyosho America is not showing the Mad Wagon. Well, it's definitely
on Competition X. I'm looking at it right now, and there's several pictures.
and that's what I was hoping. Competition X.
Yeah, it looks pretty wicked. It's called the KB10W.
Wow, it's already lost off the front page.
I don't know. It says RTR trim, sealed drivetrain, heavy duty off road shocks, wheelie bar.
There it is.
Blah blah blah. Underneath the Mad Wagon includes waterproof, brushless, 2850 kV brushless motor. So it's a long can.
So it's just a VE again. So it's just their brushless. $500 though. It's got to have something more going on than the Mad Van. Somebody said it was just a Mad Van with a different body. If it's $500, I don't think it's a Mad Van with another body.
Well, isn't that 2850 the long can? It's like an 8th scale buggy can, right?
Yeah, this is bigger.
Yeah.
This is not the Phaser chassis.
No.
This is all reinforced here. Yeah. It's not at all the same type of short. I mean, the arms aren't the same either. But look at that. I mean, that's what's killer.
I know, right? Like, I want that body just for a crawler body too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it is sick.
Their paint scheme's pretty rad on it too. I like it.
It is. I like the barcode on the side.
Yep.
I think that's what that is. Looks like it.
Yep. The barcode. It says Kyosho under it.
Yeah, that looks sick. That would be a basher I could get
out on the back of the body though for a wheelie bar. Oh, that killed me about the van.
Yeah.
Oh, killed me.
Look at that.
That was a pretty sick shot.
Yep. See, I'm not into bashers because of the looks, but that one I could get on. Like, that's the one I would be like, yes. I did the same thing. I clicked on the link and I couldn't find it after that.
Not there. Hey, what'd you get this week? Everybody will say. Someone says not the Mad Van. Mad Wagon has the aluminum chassis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely stronger all around with that one.
Frank Noggle says, I thought it was a new ESC and motor. Psycho Garage says he sent you the link.
All right. So they also tear the blower off in a parking lot. Yeah, he saw me do that. Did I get brats in Wisconsin? I didn't get brats. I had somebody actually made food and brought it. There was like a pasta salad, and then there was they called it barbecue, but it was more like sloppy Joe. Gremlin drag car. That would be wicked.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive Eagle. What?
Oh, we were talking
cheese curds. I didn't get any cheese curds either. It was such a quick trip. I did get a bigger vacuum former.
Ooh,
so there's that.
Yes.
That trumps cheese curds. I was just like, it's a long drive to drive by yourself, 8 hours, and it was kind of sprinkling. And I was trying, the tarp was getting holes in it over the vacuum former. And I was stopping to buy like roof repair stuff to put over because the vacuum former is tall, so you had to take the top off, and this thing's freaking heavy. I had to buy pallet forks to get it out of my truck for my tractor, so I had pallet forks to lift it out when I got here. Luckily, they had a lift there that would sit down on my tailgate, so they could bring it in, like wheel it off the dock onto the lift into the truck. But yeah, so I walked out with that.
That's awesome. Do you have to do any electrical service to your place to run it?
Yep. Yeah, it's not been a cheap thing. So I need I need to get a 50 amp service for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of power.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has to get really hot to melt Lexan.
How thick of Lexan can you do with that?
I don't know, but I'm kind of wondering what other plastics I could get. Like, could I make jumps?
Carbon fiber, maybe?
I don't know.
Because that seems real. 50 amps gets hot, dude. That's I mean, welding at 50 amps, like MIG welding, you're cooking.
It's like oven hot, man. So you got to get to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for Lexan to melt. So yeah. But we're still looking at that stuff. But yeah, so I did walk out with that. They gave me that, which is really cool of them. So gonna try and do some other, even with the mini stuff, I want to do Lexan instead of that PETG stuff.
Yeah.
Which works, but it's just not as durable.
I should send you that Ferrari body that I printed that I'm pretty much jettisoning it because you could try to form that. It's a bubbly body and the windows are filled. So
nice.
that would be
so that's part of the reason I want to get a better printer is I need to get rid of how terrible my prints are. I need them to be better. So looks like I'm gonna have to mod this tray here.
Oof,
so why don't you go after the chat for a second? I'm gonna see if I can.
Yeah, I was gonna say XJ Sport 95 says they burned up a 300 amp TIG welder yesterday at work. That's hot. Ouch. That is hot. Like I've pushed over 200 before welding aluminum, and that makes your teeth rattle. Like it's cooking pretty good. So that's when I did that one summer. I remember being all leathered up and hitting some like 1/2-inch aluminum, and I was like, I could feel my teeth shaking as I was pounding into that. So that was crazy. Anyone a good painter in here? Never stock RC. Oof. Let's see. What does Matthew Copeland says? I like the Mad Wagon design. $500 for a 3S basher is steep though. Yeah, I don't know. If it was 3S, I would say that is a little steep. If it could do 4S though, I think that'd be one thing. Cheese curds at Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee are unbelievable. If you're into cheese curds, I am lactose intolerant. That will not happen for me.
I've never had cheese curds, so I don't even know.
Yeah, that just sounds disgusting. Like just looking at cottage cheese.
Oh, I like cottage cheese.
Oh, it just looks.
Oh, I love cottage cheese. Nope. Is that what cheese curds are like?
That's what I imagine them to be like. I don't know. So, okay, here's a story. I was house sitting for my grandparents one time, and they're like,
I just want to go to the brewery for that brewery part of it, not the cheese curds.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm house sitting for my grandparents one time, and they're like, hey, help yourself, to whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. And my grandma always had like a gourmet kitchen. So I was like, sweet. So I open up one of the fridge doors and I look in there, and they had these eclairs or chocolate or, eclairs. So they're like breaded with chocolate on it and cream filled. And I go and take a big healthy bite of one, and it was like curdled on the inside. It went bad. And it was like, I will never get over that ever again. I cannot look at an eclair anymore. It's like having a mouthful of rotten eclair. Not good. Note to self, don't do that again. So, it just jumped on me. Says I need a Biddy Designs Joda body painted. That's pretty cool. And a Hoonigan livery. That would be pretty sick. Alex, Jason is saying Kyosho is so interesting. Yes, I agree. Not even close to cottage cheese. Jeff Brown says. That's what I think it looks like. These are just new current price points. Deep fried cheese. I would call that a cheese stick, not a cheese curd, but that's a Washington thing. It's basically a cheese nugget. Curd has nothing to do with it. All right. Well, either way, it's not happening
Curd
for
sounds
me.
like curdled milk, or yeah,
I
it doesn't
know.
have a good sound to it.
Yeah.
Like, you lost me at curds. I like cheese.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
take cheese.
okay, here's the thing. We last summer, I think it was at the end of summer, our last vacation, we went down to the Tillamook dairy, the cheese factory down there in Oregon. And my daughter and I don't do dairy very well, but we took all these lactate pills and had the grilled cheese sandwich, had the real ice cream, all that kind of stuff. It was pretty good. And
Yeah.
but I'm just not a cheese guy. So
Oh man,
this
nachos and cheese are my favorite thing
It's,
ever. Like,
Psycho
if I-
Garage says this live stream has gotten cheesier than normal. Yes, it has. But cheese. How about Talbot's new vid today? That thing
oh, I'm
is so sick.
so excited for him.
I didn't see his new video today. I just saw the last one where he got it running.
Yeah, well,
Or
it's,
that was
it's
a
more
while
of that.
ago.
It's showing kind of that. He'd done like a teaser with it running through the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is more the lead up to that.
Right on. That's cool. What are you working on? You haven't showed anyone what you're working on, I don't think.
I'm
are you putting the baby arm in there?
The baby arm. Putting baby Goliath in this bad boy.
I'm just gonna call it the baby arm.
I mean, there's still time to change the name. Kind of leaning toward baby Goliath, but
you should do it like you should call it the baby arm and have it like that over the top logo of two baby hands, like doing like the arm wrestling thing, and just call it the baby arm.
Yeah. I was just thinking you could call it small big motor. You could call it the tiny large.
The big short.
Yeah. Except it's not short.
Well,
big long. And this could go the wrong direction. Just talk about baby Goliath again.
Yes.
There.
Can't even see it.
A lot of focus.
I'll take your word for it. Ooh. XJ Sport says you need to make the old school Goliath monster truck body for it now. Yes.
Yeah. It's got some whoa, wrong one. Focus is that one. Yeah. So trademark name. That's trademark. We're saying it. So make sure the name's out there. I couldn't believe that. I did a bunch of searches, and I mean, I'm not the best internet searcher in the world, but quick Google searches that there was not a what do I call it? The Mighty Handy tool. There wasn't one.
It's like, you ever been through places like Idaho? Idaho, everything's called Orama. It's like Chuck Rag and Orama, Shop Orama, like all these funny names. You're like,
there's Mighty Handy saw, there's Mighty Handy jar opener, but there's not a Mighty Handy tool. It sure is mighty handy to have. I don't know why I accidentally said it's Mighty Handy. Like, I'm like,
you should call the bag
something else. So maybe we'll just call it the Mighty Handy tool.
You can call your bag the shed. It's a Mighty Handy tool shed.
Oh, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I like this side-mounted battery tray as much as I thought I did in the beginning. At one point, I thought this was a cool thing, but with these longer motors, it's more problematic. All right, so here's a test. I'm going to plug this in. will this ESC smoke or not? My last one did. My gray one, I plugged it in, and just by plugging it in, even though it's in the off position, the wheel started spinning and it started smelling, and I turned it the other way thinking, oh, it's on. Well, then the lights and everything came on. So something was wired right before. So
from the factory?
Smoke? Yeah. Like straight out of the box. I plugged it in and it smoked. Just making sure the wires on the battery are right. No, we're good. We're good. Everything's cool. House did not burn down. The David motor.
See here.
There we go. Jeff Makovich, what's that motor? I don't know what that motor is. I just know that Baby Goliath is now trademarked. CCXRC Baby Goliath.
2022.
1154. 2022. May the 3rd.
I like it.
Trademark. TM.
We
I'm going to put the description too, so its search terms come up.
We watched, there's a YouTube baseball like comedian called Domingo Ayala, and he's just like every like Latin American stereotype baseball guy. And so me and the kids watch him, and one of his thing, he talks about hitting a bomb, and then he talks about popping his chain and bat flipping. And my daughter hit a ball the other day in practice, and she goes, pop, and she pops her chain. And then she goes to flip her bat, and she flips her bat, and it doesn't like get distance. It kind of just stays there. And she's like, ah, as she flips the bat. I'm like, that's not the way you do it. See, Dev 720 says, Domingo. Yeah. It's God-given. That's one of his things. He goes, it's God-given. Like, points up. It's awesome. He's hilarious every time. BW3 sells them.
Got more of these Etsy resin wheels, my SCX24s. They're really awesome. Are they for your crawlers?
What you talking
or
about?
For what? Which SCX24s? I don't want resin wheels. I want brass wheels and brass axles. They're going to be the new thing, you guys. Brass axles.
Vibranium.
Vibranium. You want to brass it all up, man.
Bling bling. You should make an okay. All right, trademark right here. You're gonna make an all brass chassis, brass everything, and you're gonna call it the Little John and put some bling on it and be like,
nice.
yeah.
They call it the slap the brass. Slap that brass.
It'll be like the slap chop. It'll just be like slap. Or like all the Will Smith memes right now. It'd be like slap the brass on it.
Yeah. Not as good as the that's not the right controller.
Dirty South is asking if there's monster truck. Dirty South is asking monster truck talk coming. We've been talking about monster truck early on, brother.
We talked up the monsters. Well, they ain't a good thing.
What'd you do?
Oh my gosh, it's just spinning. It's broken. I didn't put the drive shafts on. Son of a...
What a jabroni.
What a rookie.
So monster trucks. Okay.
All right.
What do you want to hear about monster trucks? About monster trucks, Dirty South. What do you want to hear?
We talked about snapping a Stampede Gravedigger in half. It was a Gravedigger too. That thing would have been worth some money.
Yeah, people were saying that I probably shouldn't be making the rear axle of mine spark because there's a drought in California, a forest fire. Did you see that in the video? No. Legit sparks. Yeah. So if you go back and watch the reels that I posted, my son landed, bam, on the rear axle, snapped, and I slow-moed it, and you can see sparks shooting out of the axle when it broke. Legit. It's pretty rad. So he could have
forest fires.
Yeah,
only it was funny. Forest fires.
I need that sign in my track. That's what I need. So here's something that's coming up about tracks and monster trucks and all that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna host a contest for a track design contest.
Oh,
And I'm going to give the dimensions of my track out, which are small, but I don't know what I'm going to do for the winner. Probably some apparel, maybe some stickers. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe something bigger. I don't know. But basically, I need a good short course track layout that I could also modify quickly to do monster trucks on.
so you build my track kind of a thing. You want them to design your track,
Yep.
not
Yep.
their own track, not the best design of their own.
Right. Yep. Just give me a design. Let's see what I can do with it.
Track design to help you out.
Yeah. I've had a couple of them that I liked.
Track designers, man.
What's that?
Like there are some really good track designers out there. It's like it's not everybody can just sit and draw up a good track design. Some people are really skilled at it.
Well, and trying to use, I really like the Mickey Thompson style, like the old school Mickey Thompson stadium truck tracks, because they're narrow. They're like 2 cars wide. And, it takes a little skill. But back to monster trucks. So SMT. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel no, but I feel more distance coming. Okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, I haven't even really driven the LMT, but the joy that I saw on my kid's face by driving the LMT was like all I needed to see versus what he got driving his SMT10. And his SMT10 was no slouch. Like, it was a good SMT10. So, like,
that's
he was, well, yeah. But I mean, for a kid, well, no, but I just mean it wasn't like a bone stock SMT10.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't built or anything, but it was better than stock. And that's the other thing I got to do. I got to find someone who's done a gravedigger takeoff, or not gravedigger, son of a digger takeoff of their SMT or of their LMT. Because that was the one thing he was bummed about, because he has his son of a digger body that I got the graphics from Big America that got him from Bari, and I put him on his truck. And my son, I mean, that's his favorite driver, right? Anderson. So he's like, that was one of the things he said when he first started running the truck. He's like, I'm going to go Ryan Anderson on this truck. I was like, you do you, brother. You do you. So, but I got to find a takeoff so I could put that on there, because I think he'll really dig that. And, we'll just bash it up, have fun with it. So I guess that's the next thing. In your opinion, should I just get stock replacement housings?
And the new ones are better than what you got.
Are they?
Because that's the kit. So the kits only ever had the originals. They don't have the bracing in them.
Oh, see, I thought it came with the new ones.
No. They never sold through all the original ones.
Okay.
Last I heard. Don't quote me on that. But last I had heard, they still had the originals.
So JMRC says he's building an SMT10 on 3S. That's how mine was. What kind of powertrain?
It's still good. It's just, you have to upgrade them.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like any truck though. I mean, like if you want to do the freestyles junk that we do and make it like a basher, you got to do a lot of upgrading. I mean, you can't just go out with any stock truck and expect it to last. Like I had, people, that was one of the things that people were commenting on my post. They were like, now, how do you feel about being in, being in the LMT Broken Axle Club and all that? And it's like, I'm not mad at it. Like, for the time that we had and how hard he was driving it, and
that landing was, I mean, even in the real trucks, that's the kind that breaks them.
Oh yeah, 100%. And so I was not upset about it at all. Like the amount of fun we had that afternoon driving it, it's like, yeah, no problem.
How long did it get on it before it broke? Like a battery pack?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we switched it out halfway through because we went from a traditional 2S like 6200. We went from one of these to one of the race packs, one of the shorty race packs. I don't know where mine is now, but here's another one. Go get arms. Do one of these, the 5100C.
Yep.
And yeah, so I would say a pack, pack and a half maybe. And part of it was,
I mean, shorter than I got with my original ones. I don't know how we avoided breaking them for so long, but
yeah,
I don't think we ever hit quite like that type of landing. We were
I mean, and
pretty smooth.
yeah, and he was like, I mean, that's the fastest type of monster truck he's ever driven, like hands down. And so, for the first probably 20 minutes, I was like, just get used to it. I was telling him, just drive around the track, blip it over the jumps a little bit, just get used to it. And then he did it on 75% for a while. And he did a pretty, couple good runs on it and 75%. And then I was like, I have the video too. It was awesome. I recorded him being like, I was like, hey, you want me to put it up to 100%? And he's like, yes. He comes running up to me. And so I throw it on and I was like, here you go. And as soon as I hit 100%, that's when he was like freaking out. He was all about it. And he was like, this is awesome. He's, doing wheel stands and all that.
Whole new truck when it's full 3S. Or
Well,
even 2 at 100%.
Yeah, totally.
You get that punch. That's what you really need, is that little punch from it.
Yeah.
Being at that 100, getting that full throttle curve. What
we
were saying the Pro C. We were saying monster trucks too. The Pro C, I mean, it's just a solid truck. It's just a race truck. Cantilever suspension. It's not at all like the LMT.
Right.
And that's what's good about it, and that's why it still has a place, I think.
Yeah.
Because so many other things the LMT just does so well that it negates the need for certain trucks. And that isn't the case with the Pro C and those. So
well, the Pro C, I mean, you got to look at it. It's like if you're playing golf with monster trucks, right? You're not going to go and sink a 40-foot putt with a driver. You know what I mean? Like the Pro C is like, it's tailor made to what you want it to do. It's a race truck. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the cool thing I think that's the only reason why I'm a little tepid on the SMT10 is because after seeing the LMT in action with the kid running it, it kind of fills all those first voids of the SMT10. It makes it more of a basher. It makes it more explosive, I would say. The SMT 10 isn't very explosive, I would say. Like it just doesn't have that kind of like heft and explosion like the LMT does. But and we're running it on a little hotter of a motor. So we were running it on the 3800 130 amp that came out of the Baja Ray.
Okay.
So Dirty South said his new LMT roller came with the new axles last week.
Oh, did it?
That's sweet.
So then maybe
I don't know how to tell the difference.
You take them apart. If there's webbing inside, you'll know if it's got webbing on the inside instead of just smooth.
Well, hang on a second. It's on the other side of the table. No, I'm not going to take it apart right now. I've got too much computer work to do. But I will see if it's... Oh, this is nice. I can hear you now because I got my Bluetooth headset on.
Oh, yeah. This is really smooth. I don't know if it's as fast of a motor, though, as the original.
So that was one thing that was super funny. When my kid picked it up, he sent it off out of bounds on the track. And he goes to pick it up and he's like, ah! Like he couldn't get it to pick up. And I was like, yeah, it's a little heavier. So what do you mean by webbing?
When you take it apart on the inside, they put bracing in there to stiffen it.
In the center pumpkin?
Yeah. So on that whole back wall, if it's got like upright and different like webbing across and up and down, versus just
it's
completely smooth.
It's all smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have webbing in there.
Here it is.
So what's funny is the broken axle shirts came out as the axles on these started breaking, but I'd made it after I broke all those clodbuster axles. Because if you look at the truck, it's definitely my Bigfoot. My forward-looking late
TM
late model, older forwardish looking truck that has no details to it.
Maybe I can just Starbond this together. Put some fiber resin on it. No, it's not worth it.
You probably could. No. Nah, for $20 or whatever.
I freaked out because I saw one of the axle kits and it was like $100 or something like that. And I was like, $100? Yeah. I was like, what? Dude.
What's going on, John Gander? Yeah.
These dog bones are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had anything go wrong with those or the drive cups. Even my diffs, I haven't had any issue with my diffs yet. There's a couple of people early on that burned out their diffs somehow.
Well, Trailer Trash? I showed him the video, and he said it looked like my diffs were a little loose, or not loose, but soft. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to open them up right out of the box. So
I don't know. A lot of people that I know that mess with theirs, they're the ones that somehow burned them up.
One thing
I haven't touched mine at all, and mine. I mean, I've got the oldest LMT out there.
Yeah,
I've beat the crap out of it, and it's still going. Like, and I go hard on that drivetrain between reverse, forward. Yeah,
that's the other thing. Is it realistic for me to program it without the program card?
Oh yeah, it's easy. The beeps.
Okay.
Beep, beep,
okay. Beep. Okay. I haven't tried that yet.
Super easy.
KLNN says, greetings from the Broken Axle crew. He's over on your side of the world.
Yeah.
He's dodging raindrops, as we say in the biz.
Oh yeah. So, there's some raindrops here.
Are there?
Rain today. Yeah. I mean, legit raindrops. So I need to test this. So the reason I chose this truck to put the baby Goliath motor in is because it's the only truck that I have that's stock, and I have 3 other stock ones that I can compare it to, other than taking the tops off them and stuff. But I'll be able to do testing for speed and all that. It's definitely slow. Like the slow end of it's super smooth. I just don't know if it's as fast as a stock.
You should try it.
Seems like it is.
You could also try it with a Furatech tranny. That's how Dalton's truck is. It's brushed on a Furatech.
On the ESC?
Yeah.
Or the tranny?
Or yeah. ESC, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that'll definitely be something I tested on, and I think you can go 3S on these new ones, can't you? These new ESCs, the brushed ones. Somebody told me I could. I'm gonna have to look into it. I think it was Mofo that says you could.
I don't believe that.
Mofo doesn't mind burning stuff up either.
It's like, yeah, you can go 3S.
Yeah, it was super fast for a little while.
2 minutes. Yeah.
I love him, man. He's great. Well, yeah, he don't care if he burns stuff down.
C-Dub says he just ordered one of your handy mighty tools, whatever you're calling it.
The mighty handy tool. Mighty handy.
Mighty handy. Someone else said that too a minute ago. I got to scroll back up in the chat.
You guys are killing me. I'm all out of shipping supplies. I've run out of the envelopes. I have a stack of 50 things to go out tomorrow. I spent all night from when I posted it until this, literally never stopped, just filling orders. And I think I'd be done, and 3 more would pop into my inbox. I'm like, holy crap. And then I'd finish those, and there's 2 more. And I'm like, what the? And I went and just stopped to put my kids to bed, and I came down. There was 10 orders. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta.
Okay, so I don't know if
Yes.
you've talked about this, and this is the thing that separates it from the Amazon cheap version of something like this, aside from the actual bits that you are having it, is the rotating head.
Yeah,
That
spins
is,
in your hand. Yep.
yeah. So that, I mean, that's like money in the bank right there. Like when I,
Yeah.
it's just so much easier to do. Or like, you know, if you have to put pressure on it and twist it with your other hand, like that, I like that part. I told you I brought this to the track on Saturday, so you can say it's track tested now, and it did everything I wanted it to. Man, it was pretty awesome. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I mean, well, when we broke that, so the pinion came off that Gravedigger, and I mean, I keep this in my pocket all the time. I just, change it from pant to pant and just
yeah,
always have it with my 2.0, 1.5, 1.27, and the 4.0.
what does Harley call it? The CED, carry every day.
Yep. So yeah, it goes in, and I always have this
Yeah,
Milwaukee that also
okay, yeah,
has this, so that I can
well,
do tripods and stuff on my camera.
yeah.
You always get someone you don't have a screwdriver or a quarter or whatever. So yeah. Anyway,
Should I show mine
I'm
now?
almost out of. I will be running out of those tools soon. So I'm literally probably gonna get off of this and order a whole nother set because you got one. Let's see your
My
carry.
mine's all black ops, and I love mine. Mine has all the
Gerber or Leatherman.
no, it's SOG. It's their local
Okay,
here, but it's got all the stuff. It's got a screwdriver in there. It's got all the knives. Mine's spring loaded also.
clicks together nicely. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's wicked. I really like it, and it's heavy. Like it's not a light little tool. It's heavy, so I can like be 50 feet in the air in a bucket truck doing whatever I need and have it. And
Yeah. Well, you need all those extra things.
yeah,
I mainly need a knife a lot, and I don't sharpen knives very well, but I'm pretty good at changing out a rusty, dull blade or chipped blade.
I'm
So,
all
and the
about
other cool thing
sharpening
is when
them.
I travel, I just throw the blade out, and when I land, I go somewhere that
Ah,
sells them, and I get new
dude,
blades.
I
Because
went to the
I
Mariners.
gave one of those knives. I had like a $200 Leatherman I gave to the Israeli police at the airport, and that got me. Their security is intense, bro.
Dude, I can imagine, but I did
Huge.
the same thing at
A lot of
Disneyland.
enemies.
I walked into Disneyland and they're like, sir. And I was like, yeah. They're like, you can't carry that in here. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, no weapons. And I'm like, it's a utility tool. He's like, no, there's a knife on there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, can I go and like hide it in a bush? And he goes, there's cameras everywhere. We can't have it on premises. And I was like, son of
Yeah.
a. So,
Do you take
killing
it
me.
back or they take it from you?
Oh,
You
they
take
took
it
it
to your
from
car?
me.
Oh,
No. Well, because we
you're
stayed
already
in
in
a
the park?
hotel.
Uh,
No, but we stayed in a hotel that we had a tram to. So I was like,
dude, I
well,
walked all over England and stuff with this. No idea that you're not allowed to have like a knife in Scotland and all that. Like I'm just
what?
walking the streets with it. Yeah, you can't have a blade, like a
What?
certain type of blade. Yeah, I mean this was considered
Were you
illegal.
like,
I was
were you
told.
like, that is un-American and I'm
Yeah,
American?
so it's like whoops.
That's what I would have said.
But yeah, so Jeff Makovich says you need a bell that goes off every time someone buys something like Mofo. I do. It's my phone. It goes ding, ding. I just muted you guys because it was going off so much. Jacob Smallwood just joined news.
Nice.
Daniel Castro. Yeah, there's been several more. Yeah. Holy cow. Crap. Since we started.
Billy the Kid said SOG stands for Stand Our Ground. I have a lot of SOG stuff. Yes, it's awesome. I used to carry Gerber, and then I don't think they have a facility near us, but I'm in Washington State, and I know Saga's just across the water from me, so that's why I started carrying them. But that's crazy.
Yeah. Jeff
Jeff
Mackey.
says that. I just
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the airport. I've been several times, and I had an Egypt stamp on my passport, and that just puts you in the. You could put the bad boy line for that. So I always got intense security checks, and they just try to mess with you to make you crack and do something stupid, and you just gotta just roll with it. Oh yeah, want to take my hard drive to the back room 10 times? Sure, here it is again.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to keep that? You want to keep that because it looks suspicious, but the other 3 that are exactly like it are fine to stay with me? Sure. You see them boxing it up. They're putting it on the next flight. Like they're just dicking with you. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Why
So
not?
yeah, I didn't know you were Jacob Smallwood Black Market. That's why I read your name out, because I saw your thing up there saying, so you're saying I need to order the tools now?
Yeah, there you go.
I got a lot more to package tonight, it looks like. But I'm out of packages. At least the nice like plastic 4x8 size bubble ones. I have like 6x9 ones, but that are the cardboard, or not cardboard, but manila.
Like the priority box, yeah.
No, they're like
priority mailer.
Padded envelope, yeah. So I've got some stuff I can use, and I had to reorder a couple hundred more of those baggies, but yeah, they're gonna run out soon because I only listed 80 of them, and we're probably at about 60 of them already today.
Nice. So KLN's giving props to Black Market for the Gen X chassis.
UK laws: no locking or spring blades, must be under 3 inches. So yeah,
my dad,
I might have been all right then.
He gave me a like a buck knife for Christmas, and the kids were like, "Whoa!" And my son's like, "We can go pig hunting with that." Like, what are you talking about? We've never gone pig hunting in our lives. And it's like, the blade's like this long. It's like smooth and serrated. It's like Rambo with like like the.
That ain't a knife. This is a knife.
That's a knife. Yeah. I was like, oh wow. So it's hanging up in my office at the shop. Like, well, just in case.
Yep. So yeah, there's gonna be new stuff, guys. Jeff was saying Mighty Handy and the Baby Goliath. Yes. And there's another Mighty coming. There's a Mighty Chihuahua coming, but I'm not going to give too many details on that other than the name. The Mighty Chihuahua. Trademarked. 12/21, May 4th. Actually, I said it before. Last week, I kind of dropped it. Just the name in there for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what do you got?
XRC Mighty Chihuahua, though. I think it has to have my name in it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up next?
What do I got next? Well, I won a.
Jeff Makovich says CCXRCO Rama.
Rama.
That's what I was talking about. Like in Idaho and all that, everything's like Rama at the end.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like
you know what?
Rama.
I meant to do this earlier. I thought we were gonna do like the what happened, what you got things. I meant to do the whole show.
Is this like your sponsorship time where you're like, I got to put my hats on, change a drink. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands. Ooh, look at that. That's nice.
I told Mofo I'd wear it.
There you go.
We never did the. It's not flat enough, so I got to try and flatten it more. Oh, now it looks weird. I just got that. Remember that when you used to do like the flat and then really square it off?
Yeah.
But so I got
the second garage. He says you're bad at keeping secrets, Tony.
I don't need secrets. Like
your own secrets.
They don't need you don't know what it is. You don't know anything but the name. Baby Goliath. I sure hope I put the Baby Goliath in there. I did. I should have. How do I have one in this bag?
See, that would sound so much better if he's called it the baby arm. Say that whole sentence again.
The baby arm.
I sure wish I put the baby arm.
Yeah.
Come on, Tony.
So
Crawler Space says you're too
here's
old.
what you're getting.
That's awesome.
With the baggie. That's the whole thing we're waiting for is these zipper bags, which actually turn out really good. They could have made the logo smaller. But
Crawler Space says you're too old for a flat bill.
It's the only way I feel young.
I know. I got to swag it out with my
I'm old enough, though, to wear navy blue and black together and not care.
And okay, so this Sunday when I went out
on YouTube, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did. I remember about that
video or with somebody that dresses like you do or something.
Yeah,
like I wear a black shirt and a hoodie, and I have a hat on. Like what? Okay.
So this Sunday I went out to go work on the track, and I have like my work boots. I have the like Wellington work boots and my lace up work boots, and then I have like baseball shoes, right? Lace ups. And I go, I get it now. I now know why the dads get those crappy Costco shoes that just slip on. You don't have to tie them on or anything like that. It's like, it's for doing yard work. That way I can take them off when I come inside easy, put them back on. Like, oh my goodness. Please don't tell me you're wearing this. Oh my goodness. Oh, Tony.
Camo even. Like hunter orange and camo.
No.
Crocs.
It's terrible.
Our yard is so muddy here, though. Like
Crocs and socks too. Look at you.
I don't have socks on.
I bet you wear them with socks, though.
No, my feet get so muddy though when I take them off because like it just comes right through them, right? Because the front yard, I was walking there. I had a friend over, and he was driving one of the cars for the first time, and he rolled it. And it's the max. It should, flip itself back on its wheels. There's a button to do that. But I had those stinking paddle tires on still, which are belted. And there was I had to walk out there, and it's like, it's thick enough that, you sink enough that with those on, you go down in the mud and it gets on your toes. It was so gross. Ugh. Yeah, adjustable straps, all-terrain Crocs. They're the best. Anybody that disagrees, it's just wrong.
My wife showed me a set that had like mole packs on the back of it, and I'm like, too much, I'm out. Like I was like, and for that reason, I'm out. Like I can't.
What I normally wear are those boat shoes. What are they called? They're kind of popular right now. A lot of fishermen wear them. They go up over your ankles. They're like mud boots, but they go over your ankles. Like they look kind of like rain boots.
Oh, like Danners or whatever they are.
Something like that.
I know what you're talking about. They're like boots that just are like over the ankle.
They go up to your ankle, and they're rubber. And
I think the women call those pixie shoes. Pixie booties is what they call them. I think that's the style.
Huck makes them now, but that's not the main brand. Extra Tough, XTRATUF.
Is that like
tough. They're kind of
is popular. That like the Big Dog brand?
They're stupid expensive.
Remember that Big Dogs? You remember that?
No.
You don't remember Big Dog clothes? Come on.
No.
I was husky.
Jinko jeans, and I remember Skids. Yeah. I don't remember Big Dog.
What? I was talking to KLN the last week, and we brought up The Grind on MTV. That dates us back quite a ways. MTV. Remember that show, The Grind, the dance show? Yeah. That's terrible. That
we weren't allowed to watch it.
Oh, risque. Yeah. Mid-drift.
Same with Jenny McCarthy stuff, but she was our favorite.
Yeah, she was. Yes, she was.
Spring break stuff. Jeff Walter. Wait till they wear down smooth, so slippery in the mud, right? So these totally can fit in a fanny pack. In fact, they come with like a fanny pack with bag. Keep it compartmented in your fanny pack.
Psycho Garage says, Big Dog sportswear for big guys. You wouldn't get it. I'm telling you, I was husky when I was a boy. I was rotund.
Tall and very thin.
Big Dog was like West Coast Outlet Mall stuff. Yes, sir.
I've never heard of it, man.
Oh man, it
Beavis
was
and
rough.
Butthead. That stuff was good. I was trying to tell my kids about the old Mike Judge cartoons, the original like
Yeah,
stapler stuff.
yeah,
And, Office Space, like
yep.
the original like little cartoon guy.
Oh yeah,
And because we're the red stapler. I
oh
bought
yeah. Have you seen my stapler?
yeah. I'm gonna burn the building down.
That's awesome. Heck
So
yeah.
they were like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, Dad." I'm like, "Okay, never mind."
Oh, cool story, bro.
Yep. They look at me like
Oh,
I'm dumb half the time.
good. So
Yeah,
here's a
Tinkle
good
Bikes.
movie that we just watched as a family. Questionable language for young children, but the Adam Project on Netflix, legit.
I've heard that's really good.
It was really good. It was like I liked it a lot. So that was awesome. That was a really good one. So
I've been watching hockey.
Big Dog nailed it. Big Dog was like
they couldn't wear the Big Johnsons.
oh, nailed it. Oh my goodness. I used to have
Man,
Big Johnson shirts.
so many of the Vision streetwear stuff. So we went like to a Christian school. I had no idea. My brother bought this like multi-pattern like Vision streetwear pants that were like the skids and all that, hammer pant kind of style, and with the elastic at the ankles, but like kind of poofy. And he's been wearing them for like a year everywhere just because they're the coolest. And I finally realized, I look at it, I'm like, dude, the thing is like, it's just like, it's giving the finger, like the whole pattern is like the finger, like a hand giving the finger. He's been wearing it everywhere.
Oh,
great. He was no longer allowed to wear them to school. In fact, I think my mom made him get rid of them. Or maybe we didn't tell her.
That's funny. Hoodwitz RC said Eon Flux and Headbangers Ball. The Eon Flux, I remember I was like, as a young man, I was like, Eon Flux is on. I'm staying up for this one. That was like the cartoon version of Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
So,
man,
that's funny.
Remember when The Simpsons was like get you in, like everybody was like half the world thought it was evil, and like my dad taught us how to draw using The Simpsons. Like
I know, yeah,
like
yeah.
Class, like, hey, these are really easy to draw, kids. Come in, we'll pause it, and we loved it.
I remember going to like Mexico and going to Tijuana, seeing all the knockoff Bart Simpson stuff down there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. Now it's tame, when you think about it compared to anything else.
Yeah.
So what's up, Sammy Boswell? We're just kind of chit-chatting out the end here. But
yeah, we were talking monster trucks. We talked quite a bit of monster trucks.
And some of the new stuff. We talked about the Hammer Ray. We talked about the new Kyosho. Was there anything else new that was announced?
There was that Blue Origin rocket or whatever that was.
The Tracy Allman Show. Yeah, that's how the Simpsons started. I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't have a cow, man. Yeah. That's the longest running show on television.
Mm-hmm. And the foreshadowing. There's so much foreshadowing of like current events from not to get all, kind of conspiracy hat on. Have you seen okay. So I watch movies while I'm working at the shop.
Contagion? Is that where you're going?
Yes. I just put it on. I put it on a couple of weeks ago and I didn't get through it. I just kind of tabled it because I was just too busy. And I had it on because I had a solid time at the desk designing the other day. And I was like, it was 2011. And I was like, holy smokes, this is like paralleling everything in the world over the last 2 years. It was amazing. It was like eerily amazing how much it paralleled it. But there you go.
Ugly Carnival Simpsons ripoffs. My kids are watching now. And I was watching The Simpsons with my kids the other day. And
Captain Caveman.
the funniest one to me, well, we did the Mr. Plow one because that one's just great.
Oh,
With
I say
this,
that every Christmas.
Mr. Plow, yes, that's my name.
Every Christmas when it snows, I'm like, it's Mr. Plow.
But the handgun Homer one, that's what we named it. It has a different name. I don't remember what the name is, but we because we had a VHS tape and we tape The Simpsons every week so we could watch it because we're usually out late BMX racing Sunday nights.
Sure.
And so we'd always have it set, programmed to record. And yeah, so handgun Homer, like, because that was the one that we always wanted to go and watch, and he was just so irresponsible when he got the gun.
What if I'm mad now?
Yeah. Oh, Bart gets to have a gun. Remember he hit it into like the freezer and Bart found it. And he walks in. Anyway, yeah. Good stuff, man. So many funny ones. Yeah, we've been going through some of the older ones. They watched Alf. They actually got into a huge, Steve Urkel kick too.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
wow.
Huge. Like they chose to be in that. Like they watched it and thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen. And but yeah, they liked Alf. That because I made him watch that. That was mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alf that was my favorite as a kid. But yeah. So many good things back in the 80s.
I used to like Mark and Mindy.
Man. You guys are really gonna sell them out the first night.
That's
and then
awesome.
the whole website's gonna be like out of stock on everything. I ran out of stickers too to put in with them.
Oh.
Like when I order my little, because people don't add them on, but I always just stick them in whenever there's an order. And I'm out, like I'm fresh out of stickers. So
he says, so the motor was called the Mighty Homer.
Oh, the Mighty Homer. That'd be a good one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Woody the Woodpecker. The new Woody the Woodpecker is
some of that stuff, the violence stuff. Like
I know.
Like Tom and Jerry and oh gosh. Well, I mean Roadrunner.
Oh yeah.
They tried to kill each other.
That's still on.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's on Disney on Sunday mornings, Saturday mornings, or something like that. We had it on the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is awesome.
And I watched some of the stuff now. I'm like, man, that's not even funny. It's just like so political. Like, and Tom and Jerry probably had some, but it didn't feel like it was just always another trap, like mouse trap kind of a thing.
Another pan to the face.
Yeah, like they're so sly with some because I really like the King Julian. Like personally, like I'll watch it without the kids. It's freaking hilarious on Netflix. And but you watch some of it and you're like, oh, this is totally about like gun control and like, oh, this is about like you see exactly what they're pointing to with so much of it. But
yeah. Who do we got going on? We've got Yosemite Sam was my grandpa's favorite.
Charlie Brown.
And wubba wubba wubba. Watch out.
Yosemite Sam was great. But you can't have him now because he back off with the guns, right?
Yeah.
It's like they took away the guns on Gunslinger and all that for the monster trucks to bring it back to monster trucks.
Really?
Yeah, it takes me off. Yeah, for Monster Jam, they can't have this called Slinger. That's what they were calling it. Yeah.
It's like the Guardians. The Guardians. It's baseball. It's been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
We don't change the Cleveland Indians to the Guardians. That's terrible. The Washington football team. Terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And there's so much more. Like part of it is like you're taking we're never going to talk about any of these anymore because they're going to be forgotten because they're not going to be used for anything. Like, and who gets used again? Oh, us. We're the Guardians and we're the saviors. And like the whole point is like, as they don't even realize wokeism is so backwards that in trying to fix anything, they just make it worse.
Yeah.
But
Terrible. Anyways, back to what's coming up.
What's coming up? I got to fix up my monster trucks for Monster Jam World Finals. Is that? This month, 18th through the 21st. So I got about 17 days to get my stuff together. Oh no, nice. I got 14. I got 2 weeks to get my stuff together, and it is all in pieces.
Time for the live feeds, right? Live streams, here they come.
Dude, yeah, it helps me stay focused. if I live stream work on them.
Really?
Otherwise, I find other things to do. Oh yeah, for sure.
Huh.
Yeah, it's way easier for me to live stream work.
I can't do it. I'm too looking into like trying to see what people are saying, and it seems like it takes me twice as long.
I can quickly look, respond, and work on pieces. It's not too bad. Like I got to rebuild shocks because somebody broke a set and then I broke another set, and I think it's just the piston came unscrewed. So I just have to take it apart and refill them and all that kind of stuff. The bummer is, I loved how they handled all bled out like they were they were just so beat. The truck was beat, but it handled so good. It was sloppy and but I could drive it like it was, so now I don't know. We'll see.
Now it's gonna be too tight and roll over. You're gonna be like, dang it.
Yeah, I'm really taking it for freestyle. I'm taking my Pro Cs for racing. Although I don't know how fast they're gonna because the LMTs are so fast now. What I gain by being controlled, I kind of lose because of speed with the Pro mods weren't geared up so much like now we feel like we need to so everything's just getting faster because of the LMT, because box stock, they run so fast.
So do you like that? Because do you feel like it takes away from the scale factor? How fast they are?
For racing, it doesn't bother me. And it's a mod class anyway. That's what I like about some of the stock classes that limit them. But and for mod, it's really like who can go the fastest. Like that, you want to see how fast people can make stuff go, right? I do.
Well, and you probably, and I mean, I don't mean this. Don't take this the wrong way. Do your monster truck stuff. It's not really for your fun runs. They're not really about scale. It's more about bashing and having fun with it. Like from what I'm taking, you're not trying to get I mean, some of your trucks, obviously your ice monster and all that are very scale, but when you're out there with your LMT, it's more of like a have fun and bash it. And that, to me, that doesn't seem scale, but I don't think it'd be scale. So it doesn't have feelings at all.
Yeah, I mean the LMT just freestyles so well because it's all bouncy and it handles realistically, and that's what I want it for freestyle. But the Pro C, I mean, it doesn't look or handle realistically either. Like
right,
it does that twerking thing with the bot because the suspension. Yeah, it twerks. It's a twerking truck.
That is so old of you.
Totally twerking. But
I was talking to O Canada today, and I said something about drama in the LBC, and he was like, "What are you talking about? What does that even mean?" And I was like, "What are you?" I was like, "What?" And I just sent him the gin and juice video. I was like, "Man, come on."
I was on a kick because I was driving back and I threw on 2000s hits, and then I couldn't remember what I threw on, and there was a bunch of songs I liked on it. So the next day I tried to find it again. I threw on the 90s hits. So I was just kind of jumping through eras of awesomeness in the music scene. I was skipping through a lot of it and just hitting the rock stuff, but
yeah,
good times for sure. A lot of music I forgot about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That 90s era was kind of one of those weird, especially the mid 90s. It's kind of a weird time for music. A lot of Prince was around. a lot of weird Prince and Janet Jackson type music out there.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Chasing waterfalls. I was skipping that kind of stuff. But CNC Music Factory came on. I played that jam.
Yeah, you were.
Or Young MC came on. That stuff was like, oh yeah, for sure.
It's like that meme, or not the meme, but the TikTok one where they're like, "Oh my gosh," and he starts dancing.
Yep. Good old memory lane, man. And Jason Rona just posted on Facebook this camel, Joe Cool picture with the monster truck in the back, like the smoking camel.
Yeah.
Like so 80s, man. I'm like,
that
oh,
artwork was so rad.
so
Remember
good.
the what was it? The Budweiser, was it the Eliminator? It was the tractor pull truck that had the Budweiser cans on the back of it.
Mhm.
Do you remember that? You don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
It looked like a semi, but it was tractor pull, 4-wheel drive semi truck, Budweiser. Bro, that was rad.
Yep.
I thought it was called the Eliminator. I'll look it up
Tractor
too.
pull.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look it up. Budweiser shoes.
It was like a semi truck.
Is it the semi? Yeah, I remember the semi one.
Yeah, but it
I
had
don't see
like
It had the big cans on the back of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Budweiser Boss, Troy's Hobbies. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, Budweiser Boss.
That thing was sick.
Yeah. Big old red truck.
Mm-hmm.
Is there pictures
All
of
that
it
kind
somewhere? It's like red with the old red and white cans on the back.
Yep.
Where do you have a photo of it?
It's I just looked it up on Google, and it's all over the
Budweiser
place.
Boss. I was looking up Eliminator.
Yeah, Budweiser Boss.
Yeah, that was it. That thing was so cool.
I know, right? 2 motors on one of
two motors coming out the front.
I should make a scale one of those just because. That'd be cool. So rad.
Oh, somebody has one.
No way.
Yeah.
RC?
On Facebook, it's an RC one.
I don't believe you.
I will here. I'll pull it up.
Prove it.
You don't have to believe me. I'm gonna show it to you. It's probably like Ross Hinshaw or something. Watch it be.
So Black Market was asking what was in the back of your truck. You already talked about it, but I'll let you talk about it again.
Oh, it's a 24 by 48 inch vacuum former. There.
Awesome.
That's the RC one.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's not that hard to do. You build the main thing, they just take a Tamiya semi truck, right?
Yes, but
I mean, so rad. They did a lot more work right here with all the motor stuff. But yeah, there's a good
pull
base.
Up a picture. Do the picture that had cans on it, the real one. That's so sick.
Actually, I'm clicking on the wrong thing.
Look at that. What year does that say? What is that, like 87? Maybe? I don't think the 90s.
No. Oh, it was for sale.
What? Oh, that was the other one I loved, the Orange Express or whatever it was called. They had the Tonka toys that had the Bigfoot and that one.
Look at the Psycho
Cherry Blossom.
One. This would be cool. Psycho.
Yeah.
Garage just has your name all over it.
24 scale. Sutton Motorsports just put out some sweet pulling chassis. I wish there was stuff like that out here. Like, there's nothing like that out here. 0%. I think
Troy Hobbies, that's my TRX6 project. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, it'd be cool. Oh, my neighbor about that. He has one of the 6x6 Unum. That'd be perfect. You could actually get tall boy cans and print the old school Budweiser label and put it on there. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yes.
Dang, 8 more orders. I gotta see how many are left.
That's great. I put a call out to orders on your on the Instagrams.
I saw your Insta.
I was like, let's go sell them out, boys and girls. Hopefully you got some links from there. Yes.
I don't remember my login.
So, okay, back to what's coming up next. We keep on getting
Yes, what do you have
sidetracked.
on next?
Lots of rebuilds. And then I have the Lazarus project.
Yep.
And then, so I'm rebuilding my 1.9 from scratch. U4 totally from scratch. New ground up build. Element chassis. Well, element based. All ground up rebuild. I really want a Ray chassis or roll cage. I've got to fix the SMT, or not the SMT, the LMT. And then, so the Lazarus project is going to be my big dog project for the year. That's going to be my one kind of marquee project. So might take some time on that, but I really want to get it done by summer so I can go trailing with it. That was the other thing that came out, and this might be a little controversial. Element came out with a new color of the Night Runner, and I don't do Facebook and stuff like that, and I heard people were complaining about it because it was just a color change and nothing new really. But to people like me that are all in on Element, I've never had one. I've never had a Night Runner.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. So I've never had one. Gold wheels. Yep. So that's the one that I'm getting next, and I'm pretty pumped about it. So I think it'll be a cool crawler to go out and trail with and to play with. So I don't have any IFS experience, and this is going to be my first experience with it. And I'm interested to see how it actually works in comparison. You know, I've ran portals, I've run straight axle, but never IFS crawler. So I'm interested to see how that works. But
people I know that got it really like it.
Yeah,
they're shocked how well it does.
Whoa, look at you.
Sorry, that was a big one. And I got plenty of sleep.
It's MMF Make My Fun RC says Traxxas does that all the time. It's true. Talking about different colors and variants. So I think, to be 100% honest, I think that's just buying time for their new drop. And there's one coming. I don't know when, but I'm coming. So Beechner, is that how you say it? Says he loves his Night Runner. I'm excited for. I'm excited to run it stock for a while, and then I'm going to probably make it into a pre-runner and drive it like that a little bit. I was actually thinking, so I'm trying to convince my wife either to go to Reno or to Vegas as a road trip. If you go down if you don't go down through California and you go down through Nevada to Vegas, you drive the extraterrestrial highway through Area 51. It's all Elements thing is Area 51 design. So I want to go when I get that Night Runner, after I run it for a little bit, I'm going to deck it out and make it look like a UFO tracker truck and take it down there and next to Area 51 sign. Would be kind of neat. So we'll see how that goes.
Jeff is saying that Element needs to do another ecto color.
I thought,
variants of color, like Axial does, like 2 options of color. Some people just hate yellow. Like that's a total turnoff. That's where you do like yellow and silver, like something where it's like, hey, it looks like everyone paints their Power Wagon silver.
I know.
It looks kind of like a Power Wagon. It would have probably been a big seller in silver.
The color I see that looks awesome is the like an olive drab on the Ecto. Man, that looks dope on an Ecto body. And I've been trying to they're always out of stock with that Ecto clear body because I wanted it for this U4 truck. And it's out of stock.
It's a cool body. So. I really like it. I actually don't mind the yellow. I tried to get my body painted yellow for it.
Yeah.
Turned out a little more green. It still looks good. It looks weathered and like patina. It looks good.
Yeah.
But I mean, the yellow had grown on me enough that I was willing to keep a yellow because that's what I pictured the truck being then.
That's funny. Yeah, I was on the same page of B. Kochner was saying that should have been slime. I thought so too. I thought that would have been a nice color, like something bright.
Oh, Slimer green, yeah.
Every time I decide to get an RC, I end up with an RC 4-wheel drive, says Swampers RC. I've yet to have one. I can't say anything bad or good about them. I've yet to have one. So
they can be hard to get parts for is the only problem. Axles.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ecto is one of my favorites.
I mean, I have
all I run right now. I mean, 110 scale is all I run is my Ecto.
Yeah, I have. So that's basically, I mean, my son's truck, I basically built up like an Ecto. So it's basically an Ecto with the trophy wrap body on it.
Nice.
And I love it. And that thing was handling awesome. Super awesome this weekend. But like I said, I need to put a little more power to it, but it needs to not oversteer so much. So
yeah, I sticker bombed my Ecto though. So it had a lot of stickers all over it that kind of broke up the yellow a bit.
Yeah.
Like sponsor stickers like on a livery would have all over the back end of it and help break it up some. But
that was actually something that I got. I didn't get it stepdad, but he ended up buying it, but I bought it when I was there. One of the guys ended up moving out of state from our U4 club that ran a Nomad. So now we have 3 Nomad DB8s in our stable, and I have to wrap his to look cool. So we have an old rock station out here, and it's called KISW, and they're black, white, and like their KISW logos or letters are like a yellowish burnt red color. And so I was gonna, and they always sponsor a hydroplane out here when we have the races called the Miss Rock. So I'm gonna do a livery for him that made it look like the Miss Rock livery. Thought it'd be pretty neat. So
let the record state that Jeff Brown said that the Ecto yellow was bad. Whether or not he actually said that, we're gonna let the record state that.
Okay. All right. Record has been noted. It is 9:55 p.m. PST 2022.
Jeff Brown said the Ecto is bad. Trademarked.
What? Trademarked. That's funny.
Yeah. So okay. So you got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm
and the rails.
I'm mainly focused on the monster truck race that's coming up.
Yeah.
I know I got to get stuff ready for that because those guys have been putting in time on theirs for like some of them are hardcore into the racing side. I'm like, yay, monster trucks, let's hang out, like play with our toys and drive around, which would kill anybody if they heard me call it a toy right now
with your fanny pack.
In fact, because what did the flyer from Monster Jam said that there was like RC, there was remote control racing, remote control monster truck racing that people could watch or whatever. And so everyone was joking about him calling it remote control. It's like, do I use my TV remote? And like they start posting like pictures of TV remotes to control it and stuff.
Ones with the cords that were attached to the cars and you're walking behind it.
Right. Right. And I was like, well, at least they didn't say, hey, come watch a bunch of grown men playing with toys.
I know, right?
Like that could have been way worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just like I'm not super competitive, and I know it drives some people crazy. Like the super competitive people can't understand how you wouldn't be competitive.
Sure.
But I was like, yeah, even when it's like, hey, you've got lane choice, I'm like, all right, well, I mean, which one do you want? Like, and I just take the other one. I don't care. Like, except certain people that it just for the you just like to mess with them. Like, it's not even the competitive side. It's just like I know certain people like just to screw with them just for the relationship of it. I will like, oh, I'll take that one because I know you want it. Like that's the only reason I wanted this because I know you do. Like,
okay,
just mess with their heads.
I got a competitor story for it. So when I coached selectish baseball, we were in a championship game, and there was this coach that was coaching that he just rubbed me the wrong way every time. Like he's one of those kill you with kindness kind of people,
Yeah.
but he was also a rule book person, and it would drive me crazy. And so we show up to the plate meeting, right? And my team is like they're hot, right? Show up to the plate meeting, and he comes up with popsicles, and he breaks the popsicle, and he hands me the pink popsicle, and I look at him, and I grab it, and I walk to the dugout, and I look at him, and I throw it in the trash as I look at him. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh
I'm
man, I wanted to
so
swat it out of his hand. Oh, it was
But I mean,
bad.
I do love to just mess with it. Like, it's funny that they gave you the pink one too, right? So it's like,
I
so
know. I know what it is. Yeah. And that's
yeah,
why
it's
I wanted to
totally
like
on your
knock
hand.
it down.
Yeah. So, but you raced BMX, Tony. Yeah, but I just wanted to look good when I was out there. Like I was throwing tabletops down in the middle of races and stuff. Like, eh, no look
That's funny.
backs and all that. Just throwing the bike around, just having a good old time. But yeah. I was like, and I would win, but I wasn't like super competitive about like certain people
Yeah.
just like, I lost, you know, and they hit the track for the next week trying to get better.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
I'd ride around town. I rode my bike everywhere. And so it just,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But I wasn't like
Well,
I wasn't like pro level ever. So
that's how I
being
feel
in the
about
novice
crawling
class,
for
so
me.
good.
Yeah. See, I like to go out and trail and crawl, but all the trucks that I make aren't really high performance crawlers. They look cool and they do okay, but they're
And
not
they're
made to
top
go
heavy.
through.
Right.
Yeah.
They got a cage on
Yeah.
them. Yeah, a
Yeah.
steel cage. Yeah.
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 But they
But
look wicked.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, that's how
and
I went. The
yeah.
crawling,
And
like I just go there to give people a hard time and like, oh, you got your class 4 truck on here today? Like, how are you gonna cheat? Like, I
yeah.
just been like to jack with people, you know, just a little
Right.
bit. Give them a
Right.
hard time.
Yep. Kept us out of the gutter. BMX racing. Yep. I
Yeah.
hear you. Oh, Trailer Trash is saying do a wheelie. Do a wheelie.
Is that like to do
BMX
a
wheelie.
kickflip?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's
How's
more
it
about
going,
the
Trailer
manuals
Trash?
for me. If I could manual like 2 blocks, whatever, just
Oh
keep
yeah.
it
Pump it
rolling.
out. Just pump it out.
Mhm. Yep, that's
uh
where it's at.
awesome. 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 I'm excited. I'm excited for the Sombrero Smash coming. That's something
Yeah,
else that's coming.
when is the event gonna be for that? Is it on the 5th tomorrow?
It's supposed to be, but I am this has been like breather time, to be honest. Like there's some I think I told you about some of the other family stuff going on, and it's just been work this week all of a sudden just kind of it didn't get bad already, but it like took a turn that I was like, here we go. It's one of those days. So I was like, well, we'll see what I can squeak out. But the biggest thing right now I'm having issues with are judges. And we talked about that. And I'll talk about now. So we talked about me and you very quickly about how to judge this next event. And
Mhm.
because it's so hard to get people all in the same room at the same time across the country. I don't know if people understand how 1 a.m. right now. It's 10 a.m. I think, it's 10 o'clock my time. Like for us all to have that, and we have families, we have work, all that kind of stuff. It's super hard. So the idea I had was that instead of doing like a produced show, which I think we'll still end up getting to that. But instead of doing like a produced show, what I would do is I would put, the graphics around the image, video, and all that, and post it on Instagram, right? And then on Instagram, I would tag the driver collaborator so they all have the same, at least my, people
Your
that can
stream
see
has
it.
it for sure. And then
Right.
theirs, when they approve it, it shows up in
Right.
their feed. like their
Right.
content. Yep.
So it's making reach to a lot of people. Then I would have the fans score it, right? 1 through 10, and I'd keep it open for a day or two. And then I would have 3 people that could go on and score those that are like the judges, and I'd tally up their scores and then average the fan scores, add them together, and that's how the scoring metric would work. And I think that would be much more simple. It'd be much more easy for the judges to be on the toilet, the video, watch them in bed, like whenever they want to watch the videos, then they can.
Yep.
And then maybe you and I have a watch party for the top 5 or whatever of each class.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And talk about the
Talk about
runs.
what's happening. Yep.
So I
That's
think
cool.
that would get a lot more legs. It'd get a lot more. I think there's conception that Mike gets a lot of views. The reality is, it gets the worst views out of all my content doing the competition. It really does. Like, all for doing 40 hours of work on graphics and all that, I get 3 views on the show, or maybe 800 views
Yeah.
on the show, which is I don't get money from any outlet anymore. So social media outlet anymore. So it's like there's really nothing in it for me except for the fun of it. So
Yeah.
I think that's the way for me that I think it would be cool, and then have everyone be able to see it and judge it. And obviously I
You
would
get the fans. Yeah.
and I
voting
would
it.
preface it saying all I want are numbers. I don't want anything, maybe some like great job 7, but I don't want anyone talking trash. If they talk trash, I'll just delete the comment.
The
You know what I
numbers.
mean? Yeah, because it's like this is the essence and the spirit of this comp when it was originated. Was we were all at home, we couldn't get out and have fun with people, and we just wanted an outlet to do it. And we wanted to be fun. We're playing with toy cars. It's bragging rights basically. So, but and I've also had in the last 24
So if
hours.
your competitor friend gives you a popsicle, what do you do in this competition?
Right, exactly. Like, what do I do
You
in
eat
this
it?
competition? No, I would still throw it on the ground and I'd stare him in the eye. I'd give him the 100-yard stare where I'm just like,
Trailer
but
Trash says it's a cool idea.
all right. Well, I appreciate that. So I just think, and I think that, that would bring maybe some more people into it that wouldn't be able to see it. I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of neat, and then they could share it, it helps their algorithm more, if I don't think there's anyone that's competing that has more followers than I do. So their algorithm, everybody. And I don't know. I think it'd be cool. I think that would, I don't know if it would even the playing field, but it would sure. But like I said, it would be an average of those scores and then the judges' scores that would do it. So it should be pretty cool. And then, like I said, we'll do a watch video and talk about it. So, because I thought when we were talking about doing it here, when I did it live, it's like a full on production. Like, I mean, I'm queuing videos, I'm queuing title banners, all this kind of stuff as I'm going and talking, and it's just too much work. And I was like, how can I like hand that off to you and let you do that? That's a little too much. So perhaps the popsicle symbolizes a chill pill. Yeah, perhaps. I think that's
Perhaps. Cake. Do you have that album by Cake? Gold Nugget?
No.
The guys that did Reluctantly Crouched at the Starting Line. Engines pumping and thumping in time.
Yes. Oh, you know what?
Muscle for rank.
You know what my memory of that song is? This is how much of a nerd I kind of was. I went to state for DECA in high school, and I walked into this big auditorium, and they had the lights going and all this kind of stuff, and they had that music playing in the background as everyone's walking in. He's
Yeah.
going the distance.
It's such a good album, man.
Yeah.
That Perhaps one is great.
Cassette.
So many stick shifts and safety belts, bucket seats have all got to go. When I'm driving in the car, makes my baby seem so far. I need you here with me, not way over in a bucket seat. Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. If you guys haven't listened, your listening exercise for the evening is to go.
Let Tony grace your ears with
I'm not
his.
gonna sing. That's why I stopped. I think it's Fashion Nugget. Fashion Nugget.
I can't believe my teeth aren't floating yet. I've had so much liquid this talk here. I've had my tall can.
Yeah.
And
I haven't even drank my Coke at all.
Oh, dude. I've had my tall can and then all this water. I have a Gatorade flavor in the water, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, my teeth are going to be floating here in a minute. Any minute it's going to hit me, and I'm going to be like,
"Yep,
Tony,
gotta go,
Tony, gotta go."
Or we're just going to hear like this waterfall sound.
It'll be like Iron Man. How do you go pee in the suit?
Somebody have a fountain?
Just like that.
Yeah, man, you need to listen to this, like Race Car Yayas. There's so many great songs on this album. Anybody else familiar with this album?
I haven't heard the album. I just know that song.
Oh, and that's a good one, but I Will Survive. Funny. They did a great version of that with the F word in it. It's fantastically.
Okay. Now I got to pull up on Apple Music.
Renditioned.
What's the name of it? Something Nugget?
Fashion Nugget. But yeah, you got to listen to I don't remember it having a parental advisory on it. What song? It must just be the one version that I was just talking about. That's hysterical.
Ooh, the deluxe version.
Cake album link by Green Frog. There you go. Where's the song listings?
I have them all right.
Here we go. Frank Sinatra, The Distance. Friend is a 4-letter word. I Will Survive. Stick shifts and safety belts. Perhaps. Yeah, man. There's an Italian leather sofa. And it's a good one. Anyway, you'll thank me later.
All right.
You'll thank me later after you listen to that. It's good chill music. Yeah, you should put it on the shop.
I'll try it out tomorrow.
And you should totally check out somehow Freestyle RC Shop. You guys should connect somehow so you can find out what he's doing.
Dude,
for that
shop. looks awesome. It's wicked, yeah. I mean, my shop is my playground, to be honest. I always, when people ask what kind of tooling I have, I'm like, you mean toys? Like, I have a cool 3D printer. I have a CNC machine. I have a welder, 2 welders, 3 welders. It's like, yeah, I have a lot of toys in there. And they make fun stuff.
You just need the space to put in an RC track. The only tabletopping I'd be doing of a bike would be laying it on an actual tabletop. My big old self paint. So I got out of it, and that's how I got into RC. Short story long. I have and sitting in my garage down below me, I have a Reynolds Racing 44-inch wheelbase. No, 42. It's super long. So there was the XL bikes, there's the free agent XXL bikes, and then there was the Barry McManus edition. He's a pro racer, and it was super long, so that
Cadillac.
He's a big dude, super long wheelbase, the top 2 bars, super extended. And then I'm running a double XL DK underslung neck on it with S&M slam bars on it. And then I have old school, original Redline 3-piece flight cranks
Nice.
on it. Although one of them is newer because the original ones, the way they did the welds, it happened to me. I came out of the starting gate, boom, power down, broke. The crank broke right out at that weld, tore my whole half open on the sprocket. Bad news bears. Like, but I got one free crank out of it because they were like lifetime guarantee, but they didn't give me like two. And so the new one had the newer pedal. So they don't look the same.
They're like, sorry about the stitches, kid. Here's a crank.
Here's one crank to replace your broken one. So I have that still on it. And then, yeah, I've got like landing gears, PK Ripper landing gears. Have the original Hyper bike when Hyper started. They had
That's cool.
A pro racer, Eric.
I used to have a Diamondback, like the Chromoly Diamondback. Oh, it's so sick. I love that bike.
My friend raced for Castan back in the day, and they had the one fork. That was like the first where the hub was all on one fork. The other,
okay,
to be lighter and it's kind of gimmicky, but whatever. It was cool. But they bend some, and then one of them actually had the wheel snap off. Not very often, but you could do that. You couldn't snap a wheel off like that, but you could break your forks off.
I forgot what that was called. I used to have one. Yeah, I used to have one of those. What do they call them on the neck? It was like a rotor where you could spin. You could keep your brake, but still spin the wheel. Oh, I remember having that.
The rotor, yeah.
And then I had I remember the Vision folding pegs on it. You remember those?
Yeah,
where
we weren't allowed any of that stuff. We had to take it all off. Wow, then they had the platform ones you could do on the back for your friends to stand on.
Yeah,
or those
with their hands on your shoulders.
Back, and the other part just kind of went over the
top
of
gyro. That's what they were called.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to have gyros either. I don't know why.
I wasn't racing it. I was just cruising and doing.
We couldn't have front handbrakes either. They were banned. So I have like the old Pitbull brakes.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were wicked. And they're still on it. And then
that's funny.
What were the platform pedals with the screw in little? They tear your shins up when you slip a pedal.
The GT pedals? My GTs were like that. I remember that.
GT made a pair, but they weren't the main ones. Like Peregrine. They were a platform pedal. And they had just these little nubs that would screw down into them because you could replace them to keep them sharp.
Right.
Well, then they had the
cheese graters,
the bear trap. They had bear traps. I was gonna say Proline.
I don't remember many of the names. I
remember I used to straight up points, like metal points.
Well, that's what the GTs were like. I remember the GTs had they were like cheese grater that went around them, and oh my goodness. If you slipped on one of those, it was like, bye-bye, shin. Oh, brutal. Totally brutal.
1990s MX pedal.
That's back in the day when I used to have my helmet that had the big, it was all black, and it had the big hot pink bad boy logo on the back of it. Yeah, remember that? Bad Boy Club?
Here, man, they all just pulled up when I just did 1990s BMX pedals. Hold on. Yeah.
Mongoose, there you go.
Where's my sharing screen?
You'd laugh at the bike that I have right now. I have a beach cruiser, twin old school beach cruiser. But I have big ape hangers on it, and I totally reposition the seat post so it goes back instead of going up. And I have the big fat boy seat on there, so I'm just straight up cruising my cruiser all the time. I love it.
Profile, that was the name. So these were brutal. So I had several of these. I actually owned these are the bear trap I was talking about. These would put a hurt.
I remember those. Yep, I remember those.
That'll kill you right there.
See, I thought I had GT ones that were like that too. They were anodized.
These ones I had as well with the double
Odyssey.
triple traps. Yep.
Odyssey, that's the one. I had the Odyssey gyro. That's what it was.
Yep. I would say so. GT made them too, where they were kind of spiked, but they weren't as bad as the profile, which is what I was trying to think of. Yeah, these GTs are pretty brutal.
Yep, those are. Yeah.
And why did we do that to ourselves?
Oh
Holy
man.
crap.
I remember being a kid and like yard sailing in gravel and just picking gravel out of my knees and out of my elbows. Like, this sucks. And that was before you would go to like now, had to pick gravel out of his knees and his elbows. They'd have to like send him to the hospital, get it flushed out. You don't want to get a bacteria. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Man, look at the history of flat pedals. Insane.
Crazy.
But yeah, those profile ones are the ones I was thinking of that had the thing. Like, man, I had to get so many stitches from those things over and over. They were something fierce. I don't know what's on there now. They're not very good pedals. They're also pretty brutal that are on the bike currently. But yeah, I don't think anybody, if I put in like Barry.
Could you imagine sitting on one of those seats right now? No, thank you. That would not be pleasurable.
Remember the uni seats? Uni, the UNI, the little ones that were. Yeah, 42-inch. These are it right here. 1997. So this is the bike. That's the 40. So that's what my brother has. This is what I have is a white. I've painted it black. But mine was 42. Look at how long that is. It was so stinking long. And then we'd put the extended gooseneck on it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, Craig Reynolds, he started doing stuff for TV, like with motocross and all that, like announcing. This is the indoor race, the Christmas classic, where I broke my collarbone. That was wild. Yeah, he'd walk around and he'd sell these bikes. He'd just carry them on his shoulder around some of the big races. He's one of the pro dudes, and he'd sell them. Yeah, see, there's one with red line cranks on it, actually, right there. That's got the.
Yep.
Interesting. Anyway, well, we won't keep this going. It's not very RC related anymore, but we're just kind of wrapping in.
That was that for me. That was not RC. You know, when I was like 14, probably through high school, when I did RC stuff, it was sports and bikes.
I remember Plastic Mag. So they're still doing it. Oh, DK General League Competition Orange and Black. I remember when they came out with that.
Yeah.
John Gantner, really quick. So my Big Rock I beat up for 4 years. I burned up the motor from not cleaning and total neglect. Do I spend the money to replace motor and bearings or just buy new for $339? I would just get a new motor, man. If the rest of the truck is working all right, new motor ESC you can get for about $100 probably for that car.
Do you see that video from NetCruiser that he put the Typhon shocks on his Granite?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, because that's kind of the only reason why I don't drive my Granite anymore is because the shocks are all blown out, and it's like, all I need to do
replace them are a little expensive for what they are, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I mean, I've never really looked into it, you know, to like what shocks I could get for it. And I didn't know the Typhon one actually worked for it. So I'll have to look into those because I was thinking it'd be fun to get back into a little bit of bashing this summer. I don't know.
Yeah, those are fun trucks. The Granites are, that's for sure.
They are.
Those
yeah.
Shocks on it for sure.
Bro, they are indestructible.
On our the only things was the shocks, you'll pull them out.
Yeah.
Out of the bottom because they're just kind of that press on. They're not even threaded, which is weird, but Crawler Species said Shimano. That was a good one. Shark bites, bear traps. Yeah. See, everybody remembers all this. The old PK Rippers, I had one aluminum. The weld jobs on those were beautiful. you'd have appreciated that, the way they laid
Yeah.
down the welds on them on the aluminum. Mongoose before Walmart Mongoose. That's Mongoose back in the Tim Fuzzy Hall days right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's same with
I had one of
Hyper.
those.
Hyper sold out to Mongoose or to Walmart and that as well.
I don't remember which mongoose I had, but mine was the gold and black mongoose. I had the mongoose, I had the diamondback. I thought I had something. I know for sure those two. I want to say something redline, but I don't remember what it was. If it was just parts or what. They didn't make a chassis, right?
Who?
Or a frame. Redline.
Yeah, they made
Did
frames.
they make?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Way back in the 80s, they were doing some of the race bikes.
I feel like I had one, but I don't remember. But I know for sure I had the mongoose.
It was a very popular one, actually. The red line was.
Yeah. I don't remember back in the day. But yeah, so back to the granite, the big rock. Okay.
If it's just
Might
the
be,
motor and you don't need an ESC, you can get, there's a lot of options.
yeah. So off the top of your head, if I was going to dip my toe into the waters of bashing for someone like me, what do you think the direction should be?
You asking in the chat?
Or you? You're like,
how much are you looking to spend?
$1. I don't know.
If you're gonna spend a lot,
Well,
the Max is wicked.
No,
Okay,
I'm not going to
not
buy an X
money.
Max. Not
No,
X
not
Max.
but a Max.
Yeah, no, not that kind of money.
Okay.
I mean,
So
So here's what I've looked
below
at. I've looked
that,
at Kaiju.
okay, that was going to be one of them.
I've looked at the Kaiju and the Big Rock.
The Kaiju has a little bit better like driving feel. It feels a little more sophisticated to it. There's a little bit more
like
there's handling. Like you feel there's extra weight to it, so there's a little bit just
like
the size of it.
crushed purple, like house coat sophisticated, or
yeah. Italian leather sofas, rich mahogany,
yeah,
Sex
leather-bound
Panther.
books. Yes.
No, it just feels a little bit more substantial. You know, the Big Rock and that just feels so light, the way that they hit and they bounce.
Here's my only thing.
They're durable. I love like the Big Rock is one of my favorites to just beat up. It just takes a beating.
That's the thing. So like the only thing I don't like about, I have drank the Red Cat Kool-Aid before. I think they make a fantastic crawler. People don't give it enough credit for the type of crawler and how much it costs. I have not gotten into any of their basher things before. The Wendigo was, I don't know if I would quantify that as a basher, but it was bulletproof for what it was, and it was super fast. But the only thing I don't like about it is part support. It's really hard to get Red Cat parts out here.
Yeah, so if you blow like an upper arm, if you don't have them ready, it can be a wait to get them.
Yeah.
Usually not too bad on the plastic ones, but if you want like the upgrades, they're tough to get.
Oh, that's one that make my fun RC is saying the Skeeter. I was looking at the Coralie stuff. I don't know anything about them really, but I was looking at the Coralie stuff. Or Coralie, whatever people call it.
But it runs the same amount pretty much as getting into the upper end ARMA stuff. And you're going to run into part support stuff as well with them.
Okay.
Any of them, it can happen in this day and age, the way that shipping and all that, like you never know when China's going to shut down for a bit.
Actually, yeah. No, actually that was the other one that okay, so the other one was the MT8, the associated MT8. I still haven't heard.
Looks pretty good.
I know, and we've talked about it, that there hasn't been much content support on it.
Yeah, not enough push from.
Yeah. And
not much influence on it.
Right. And I would really like to try that one. I don't think the MT10 I think the MT8 would be more fun. The reason, okay, actually, let's back this up even further. If I got the MT8, then if I got tired of bashing it, it's essentially DB8 Nomad. Like I could just put a cage on it and it would just run in that class. So super
already got
one-handed RC says get that MT8.
And the price is good on it.
Yeah. For 6S, come on.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would ever run 6S. That seems excessive. So I don't know. 6S seems like
it's
like
fun.
you're gonna yeah, but I feel like you would break parts left and right.
You do.
Yeah.
And it's part of it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. I'm like, it's not to knock any vehicle, but once you start breaking that like echelon of power, you know, it's like, woof. 6S just seems like 4S seems like, ooh, I'm almost there. Like when I drive the Nomads on 4S, those pull hard.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine 2 more S's on top of that. Yeah. I beat my blue big rock through creek, snow, mud, never did anything to it, and it was so much fun. When I got sick of my Traxxas stuff, that was my go-to. John Gantner says that.
Yeah. So I'm going to disagree with MMF, Make My Fun RC. He says Max V1 is tougher than the V2, but the V2 is way more stable. I haven't found that to be the case. I haven't broken a single thing on my V2. And we're running it in cold and in snow, stuff we've never run it in before. I let my kids run it. And we took it to that monster truck show and just beat the snot out of it on the concrete floor. Like, it was the only thing that lived. We broke every other truck we brought got broken except for the Max. And it just went stupider than all of them too. Like, it was insane what it took. I haven't blown any of the drive shafts like I did on the version 1. I cracked drive shafts on it. I blew out bulkheads on the version 1, but essentially they're the same parts. The only thing that would technically make it weaker is that it has longer arms that would pull more, like on landings. If you hit weird, that could grab and do more damage. The tires are a little different, maybe have a little more weight to them, but I mean, they're probably very similar. But I mean, I literally haven't busted a thing on my version 2 Max. In fact, that's what I hand the controllers to anybody.
Yeah.
So,
see, that's the thing. That's the other thing about this bashing stuff.
But I also drive pretty good. But my kids don't, and I hand them the controllers. You know.
It says MT8 is fun. You can tell it's hobby grade over Traxxas stuff, and it's fine on 4S. Only thing is that it gets me is that it's stinking body pins. Yeah.
The
what do you think he means by you can tell it's hobby grade over Traxxas stuff?
I think Traxxas is hobby grade. Traxxas has really good plastics. Honestly,
you mean okay,
plastics,
right? But like, I think maybe, and I don't know if this is what he means, but like with that associated platform, the pedigree. That's why I was saying I could transfer that into the truck if I wanted to.
It has a bit more of a race feel to it than Traxxas does.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say it's more hobby grade. That's just, it's a feel. Like Traxxas is built to withstand anything.
Right.
Most of
it's a tank, not a Ferrari.
Yeah. So it's just different uses.
Yeah. See, I'm really tempted for that. The thing,
drive shafts instead of metal dog bones or CVDs, that kind of stuff out of the box, typically. Yeah.
The other part of it is, I don't know how to, like, this is going to sound really dumb. I don't really know how to bash, Tony. I don't know if that means I have to make a send it ramp. Like, I feel like I'd be like, what do I do?
It all depends what you want. I got tired of the send it ramp stuff. Like, honestly, I mean, when I get to a place and there's a nice big jump, I like to hit it. But,
Mhm.
like, if that's all I do, I get bored. Like, there's something about the control, and that's what I liked about the buggy racing so much, is
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you more about too.
once I realized, like, the control, like, when you start to drive and you can actually control it, you
Mhm.
kind of realize, like, this is actually more fun than just throwing it up in the air and breaking it all the time.
Right. Right.
And, like, there's so much control in the buggy racing. And it's just
Yeah.
like, you just felt it, like, just move and shift and just I mean, and you do, like, the jump to jump where, like, hit and skip and then hit and I mean, it was
Yeah.
just wicked fun.
Mhm.
Um, so even, like, with the jumps I built I mean, I'm gonna build wood jumps again because I want that option to be able to send it, uh, but it's not, like, all I wanna do anymore. Like, before there was a time where it's like all I wanted to do is hit the biggest big air jumps and see what
Right.
happened. Would it survive? And, like, it got boring, like and stuff would break quick and your day would be done early, and, like, there's more fun in actually just driving it and jumping it and having that
Yeah.
control and downsiding things and landing into a slap wheelie and running that out. Like, I just find that to like, it's changed, and even when I watch
Yeah.
stuff, like, there's certain channels where I'm like, "Well, I know what they're gonna do in this video," like, it's all the
Yeah.
same, like, it's just hit after hit after hit. It's just big air
Yeah.
and flips and stuff, and
See, that's
it's
the other
still
thing that
block.
I
It's
I
still
feel
all
like
the
I feel like the LMT was kind of a gateway for me. Like it got me thinking about it after seeing my son run it. It got me thinking like, dude, I I should go out to the hobby shop tomorrow and see if I can get an axle for, a housing for it just because I want to drive it on the course that we built. You know what I mean? It looked like he was having a blast and
yeah,
I know I could drive it on 3S and probably still break it, but
yeah,
a little bit more aggressively drive it. You know what I mean?
yeah. MMF
So
makes so skate park is a no. No, I think skate parks are actually a lot of fun. But there's different things you can do in a bash at a skate park. There's just hit it full wide open and just try and hit the spine and send it as far as it'll go. Or there's hit the spine, break
transitions,
the
yeah,
transition downside, the backside. There's go
yeah,
up and grind it and come off of it. There's a lot of fun things you can do.
yeah,
But yeah, there's definitely I'm not against skate parks or big air bashing. But the big air bashing I like now is like trying to land it. Like even if I have the biggest jump in the world, like, hey, maybe what can I find the speed in order to actually make the landing instead of just overshooting it and flat landing, right? Like
yeah, yeah.
my goals change in what I'm trying to do. It's more about control, you know.
I'm always scared about that. Like when I build the courses out here in the backyard for the freestyle, I'm like, man, we
MMA.
are just slamming it down. Like we're not backsiding anything. What did he say?
He just says until you hit the spine,
Yeah,
snap.
snap
Yeah,
right in
yeah,
half.
yeah. That's definitely a possibility. And I don't mind breaking stuff. Like
Yeah,
I don't mind it, but there's definitely like I that wouldn't be my first hits when I get there anymore. Where sometimes back in the day when I make a video, I'd show up and I'd hit the biggest thing first and I'd get 2 hits in and it'd be done
I know.
because I'd break something.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going camping at the end of the school year to a place that's kind of sandy and kind of rocky. And I'm trying to see what my library is that I'm going to bring, right? Like we're going to bring the crawlers. Um,
Throwing sand is fun too, man. If you just like whip corners and just throw like
oh yeah. Oh
on the
yeah.
ground stuff like that can be fun. I don't have that much here, but
Yeah.
when I did it in Arizona, whoo,
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to bring the crawlers, the Baja Ray. I'm debating on bringing the LMT. But if I did, it'd be getting like the big America shots, like building the sand up and
oh, that'd be cool.
doing that kind of stuff. Um, I might bring the Nomads. I don't think so though. Those aren't really. Those are just fun track cars, I think. You know, but if I had something like that MTA, I think that'd be fun.
Bashing is fun until mailboxes and dumpsters jump out in front of you. RC Expedition. Yeah. I don't have that too much. So, I mean, I try to run nowadays where I crashed into that tree that was in my front yard until it fell over.
Yeah.
So I do have that near me, but yeah, I mean, having a wide open space is a good thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Yep.
don't like to be by curbs or trees because they do end your day pretty quick.
Or small animals.
Small. I don't think I want to know.
Oh, yeah. It's
Sand
like
Lake will throw roost, Tony, Grand Haven. Yes. I need to get to Sand Lake and we need to do those sand drags, the sand rails.
yes. Yes. So Andre made
Portions.
what did he say?
It says
Portion. Oh, dude.
That'll stop it too. It'll ruin a day.
When we were first getting the track going, my stepdad T-boned my son with a slash right in the ribs, just off a jump. Pow! And he back then my son was probably 4, right? How old is he now? Yeah, probably 4 or 5. Just full on like wasn't very happy about that. So, my son wasn't anyway.
Yep.
If you guys are bringing up tracks, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
You guys bringing up tracks when we were talking earlier about BMX racing. I look at BMX track like an oversized RC track. Used to take mine RC with me. Yes. I remember when we'd finish racing and guys would wait for us to all clear out with their RCs. We just hang out to watch because it was so cool.
Yep.
I don't have any. A lot of the BMX tracks now too locked down, man. They got fences and stuff like that up. It's much more pro about how they operate. Where ours are just in like open parks, like anybody could go and ride it.
Yeah.
Now everyone I've seen recently is a little bit more gated.
Yeah. So Jeff,
like Jeff Walters, that has an RC track that we can run.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so we have that track out at Die Hard. I'm just debating. So going back to your buggy thing, my kids aren't really into the turf thing. I have been tossing around the idea of getting a stadium truck and racing, but there it's a long day because they have so many classes, and I wouldn't be. So that's one of the problems I see with U4 for me is that I am racing 4 classes and my son's racing 3 classes. And it's like I'm constantly, there's no downtime, which is good, right? You don't want downtime, but at the same time, it's a long day. Yeah, exactly.
So the difference is those guys are wrenching their cars between races. They change setups. They try and change what did or didn't work for them. It's crazy. It's driving me crazy that there's that white thing on the bottom.
There's one on top too.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
High school kid or something.
That's why I got the flat brim and I got my snapback logo on the hat.
But it's like your dad card logo.
Yeah, I got my white New Balance on. Rocking it. Although I realize why now.
Kirkland Selects.
I was Kirkland Selects. I was standing up all day at that race in Wisconsin, and my feet hurt so bad.
Yeah,
I just get feet pain anyway these days. So
yeah,
I'm like, I kind of understand why my dad used to wear those big gaudy old shoes with the extra cushioning in them. I think I'm gonna have to get that. Hoodwiz, we were at NBL as well.
You doing all right there, Tony?
I'm not. I can't get the sticker off. It's so stuck on here. There it goes.
I
won. Now it's gonna have the spot where all the dirt sticks to this oval. But yeah.
Okay, so Jeff's asking how many jumps is required for a Monster Jam course. I would say 5. No?
For the racing?
Oh, no. He says for a Monster Jam course. I'm thinking just like freestyle.
Oh, you'd have pods though that have multiple hits to them.
Right. So like
multiple angles. They'd be like an octagon shape where you could hit it from different
Well, like I have my 4-pod in the middle,
Mhm.
and then I have my front or my backflip big jump on the side. I have a dirt for like a basically a 3-pack, like or 3-sided, where I can do. None of the kids hit that. There's a backflip wall there that none of the kids hit, which I was surprised about. Um, and then I have another backflip like sky wheelie jump, and then I have another just roller jump.
So if I were to build it for multiple use racing, what I would do is I would put 4 like little pods in the corners because they can be used for going around the outside as corner markers. So that's one thing. Or you can figure 8 around them, right?
Mhm.
On each side. So those are your 2 main things kind of outside. I'm going to go full screen here so I can show them. So like you'd have your pods out here, here, and then down here and down here. And then you could loop all the way around the whole course. But then on outside of that, even I would put like a jump, but match sides, right? So then if you did do that outside, you'd have a jump to hit on each one. You may not use those pods in the racing, or you may, depending on the course. You could figure 8 around them. And then the other thing I do is like one center big kind of pod that's mirrored on the 2 sides. So you could either use that in racing as a jump, or it gives you like 6 or 7 or 8 layouts that you can do for racing with just that one setup. And then you can freestyle like crazy off it.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
I I always have a problem with committing on our course. And our course is nice now because I'm at a point now where my course I can like go out with a shovel and just flatten everything
Yeah.
and then build stuff with the dirt that I have, and maybe every season I get probably 2 truckloads of dirt just to kind of patch things up kind of a thing. And but I always have like I have these grand ideas of doing like it's not Chicago, but it's like the J turn style where
Yep.
it's down along the outside, you turn on the inside and you hit the ramp.
Yep.
But we're just a little bit too narrow. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like I'm like
Well, he's got
25
a
feet
big area, and
across.
that's what I'm saying. Like he could do the J turn if he used those pods, and then the jumps on the outside. And
Yeah,
technically, the end one, like you don't have to do necessarily just 2 pods here, 2 pods here. That you could do 2 pods, then you could do pod, but then have them connected in the middle too,
right.
all the way across on that one. So you could still go all the way around it.
Yeah,
You could do the figure 8, but you have a jump because on that other pod now you've got that bar that goes across it that you hit in that figure 8, doing a jump around it. Still put the outer jumps on the outsides,
last
and probably something in the middle. But it just gives you so many options.
yeah. The last fall I did uh like you said, but they were closer in. So I had 4 pods, on the corners. I had one of that, that 4-pack in the middle. And then on the outside, I put like a slap wheelie ramp on the
Uh-huh.
outside. So when you come and swoop around, you could hit the slap wheelie ramp. And then on the
Yep.
other one, I had a backflip ramp right
Yep.
there. So
Well, then what I
and
do on the far ends is I do like that backflip ramp, like
yeah,
where they're outside of racing, but you
yeah,
and they're outside of freestyle for the most part. It's just you go and you hit it for that extra
yeah,
point. But yeah, if you tucked in and think of things to hit in the middle, and then have that outside couple things
yeah.
for racing, and then the freestyle, the backflip is an extra. And
Billy the
there's
Kid saying, "How fast is an LMT?"
35
Fast. Yeah,
ish
it's
plus.
fast. It's my concern when I first was talking about the LMT is that I didn't think my backyard was big enough for it. It's that fast.
Right.
And on 2S, it was okay. Like, well, seeing my son do it on 2S, it was okay. So I don't know about 3S though in the backyard. RC4All asked if I snapped my axle already. I did.
Yep.
I did. Actually, I didn't. My son did, but it was a worthy snap. So sparks and all. Also, Jeff Walter, if you
I'll see
Tony
Jeff,
has
I think, on Thursday too. So we can sit down and draw it out on paper too, if that helps.
yeah. I was gonna say there's also video. You have video of your old freestyle track. I have video of my freestyle track on Instagram. So there's
Yep.
a couple different ways to look at it. And I just posted one on Instagram that actually shows the full like bullpen that I've got. So,
Well, and he has a tractor too, so he can switch it up as well.
oh, that's
And
nice.
William Jaggy, Billy the Kid, I just refunded both of your orders for you. So if whatever you want to do, you're free to do now, however you want to do it, or later or whatever. But they should both be refunded, so you should be good. I just saw your message, so thought I'd jump on before I forgot.
Nice. We should wrap it up, Tony. It's getting late for
Yes,
you.
it is late.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
You're turning into a
I'm
pumpkin.
tired. Well, I'm used to being up late these days,
Yeah.
dealing
I
with all
feel
this
ya.
stuff. So, but yeah, man, it's always good chatting with you.
It was a
Sounds like
blast.
you had a bunch of stuff going on. I had a bunch of stuff. So, Great Lakes Gauntlet at Walter RC Park, September 16th to 17th. It's getting closer and closer. Yeah. And we'll get some stuff going. And if you do get that set up really quickly, Jeff, we can talk about maybe running some monster truck races there. We need to get some West Michigan monster truck racing action going out here. So I know people have been asking me for it. Location's been one of the things. I've been trying to get a timing system, but you don't have to have one. We can do it with a switch and a light. That was one of the cool things at Freestyle RC. Really quick before we go, they had 4 lights around the oval track for their racing, probably as a caution light to tell everybody to slow down. But they just did watch the light, and you didn't have to look anywhere because when it went, no matter where you were looking, you saw the light kick on, and it was so nice to be able to look wherever your car was and not have to be looking at a light and then look back to your car. You just focus on your car and everything lit up, and it was awesome. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later.
Yes.
And we'll sign on off. Wrap it that quick. See ya.
And for that reason, we're out. Yes. Stay classy.
Out. Stay classy.
It's already there. Are we off yet or what?
No, I'm making it